cool breeze whisks through the woods while the sun sets behind Springer Mountain, the largest mountain at the foot of the Appalachian Mountain Range in northern Georgia. As the last few beams of sunlight wane over the Amicalola Falls State Park, the leaves on the trees begin to change. This would have gone unnoticed by the good people of Nimbleville had it not been for the fact that it was still summer, July 25th, to be precise. When the sun rises the next morning, researchers and news stations will be eager to document the anomaly and will all be flocking into the small town. But right now, our camera pans down from the canopy and swoops towards the edifice of the Amicalola Lodge, where we see a strapping gentleman in jogging clothes locking up the front door, getting ready to make his way towards Nimbleville proper. He crosses through the parking lot and makes his way to the main entrance gate of the park. And as he does, a gentle fog begins to roll in. Our camera turns back towards the gate, and we see emblazoned on the archway, "Welcome to Amicalola Falls State Park." But frost is beginning to crystallize on its borders, and then we hear a scream.
And we're
Hi, everyone. Hello, all of my ghost goats, my ghouls. Welcome to Bedlam. This is a Monster of the Week campaign. Now, you all may know me as Sam, but today, I am not just that. I am your keeper of monsters and mysteries. I'm not alone, though. I am here with a whole bunch of people. Few faces y'all might recognize, maybe some you don't, but that's awesome. And we are going to get things rolling real fast. But before we get into introductions, want to go over super brief some announcements. First things first, I do not have Twitch chat open, so I'm sure there's a few people saying hi. Hi, I'll be looking back later. This is a little bit overwhelming, and thank you all for, bearing with our lateness. There were just, it's Halloween, so there was just a whole bunch of tech goblins. You wouldn't believe it. But yeah, so first things first, we're Helpful Go Gaming. We are a small, independent game design and content creation community. We've got a whole bunch of really cool people here. Yeah, so today's featurette is the first of our Go-to-Ween festivities. Tonight is Bedlam, a Monster of the Week campaign. So gonna go quickly over our Twitch commands. So we've got !donate, which I believe still is a hope for Haiti. A lot of really awful stuff has gone down there. They could go for your support. And yeah, if you have a spare, few dollars in your pocket, please, by all means, put it to a good cause. And we've also got !merch, which is right now, it'll take you to our, all of our different merch that we've got going on. We have artist featurette, which is Chelsea right now. We've got a lovely little McKeck tea herbal mug.
Emulsify.
Have it.
Yeah. We've also got this cool shirt I don't know if y'all can hear me, but it is the family sigil, designed by yours truly. Hold your applause. And we've also got exclamation point KO-FI coffee. If you want to send Helpful Goat some money directly, help us to support, what we do. Oh man, almost every day. Yeah. And if you are not already a member of the Helpful Goat community and you like what you see, you want to join in, hit that exclamation Discord, to go ahead and join us. And also we've got a few things coming up next week that I want to mention, and also this weekend. So Sunday at 3 p.m., our very own Rachel, I don't know where you are because I don't have chat up, but our very own Rachel is doing her reading corner. We are continuing our reading through the time.
The Eye of the World, the first book of the Wheel of Time.
The Eye of the World. Yep, that one. Thank you.
We're only like 5 chapters in, and they're all recorded, so you could listen and catch up and join, Matt.
Yeah. All right. And then on Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 Eastern, Lena is continuing her playthrough of Boyfriend Dungeon. And from what I've heard, this might be the final session. So please join us for some time.
Is everybody one? I don't. Lena needs to go to my standards of when I feel the people are romance.
Okay. All right.
She wants to be done. It's also fine.
And then at Thursday at 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 Eastern, we're probably having Spire. I think, yes. I would love to have some Spire on Thursday. But we'll let you know. And then Friday, we have our awesome Fates of Rin campaign at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern, DM'd by Andy, who is in some direction. And last, next Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern, vaguely the same time as you all are here today, Elise is running the first one-shot Halloween campaign, and that is The Beast, which is by Grant Howitt. So definitely check out that. What else is next? Okay, so let's get into what today's all about. So you all just heard the opening trailer, which is like the table setting for the mystery that is about to unfold. But before we get into any of that, why don't we talk about the game? So what we're playing is a delightful TTRPG called Monster of the Week by Michael Sands. It is published by Evil Hat Productions. Awesome game. It's based on the Apocalypse system with a really cool Monster of the Week formula skin layered on top of it. So basically your Scooby-Doos, your Supernaturals, your Buffy the Vampire Slayers, those were the different kinds of shows and movies that informed the creation of this game, and all of the player archetypes and their moves are all inspired by different people and different things that have happened in those various kinds of productions. I'm a huge fan. I don't do any rolling. All of the rolling is done by the other people before you, your hunters. They are all super special, awesome people that are going to be doing a lot of kicking ass and taking names today. And let's see. We'll get into the specific mechanics very shortly. But I did also want to throw out there, all of us that you see before you have previously gone over a little bit of a content warning because, hey, it's Halloween, scary stuff. You don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable in a way that they don't want to keep playing. So, that's a very fine line that we want to be do not want to be crossing. Yeah. And so I also wanted to kind of extend a similar warning to you who may be watching and just let you know, hey, there's going to be a few things. There's going to be some gore. There's going to be some scary happenings. So if you are faint of heart and need to take a break, by all means, I want you watching to also have a great time. So please, yeah, if you need to take a break, don't feel bad. Do it. Do what you got to do. But yeah, so with all of that out of the way, I'm going to move on to our little introductions. So right now, players, my hunters, I only want you to kind of just, give me your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and just a super brief sentence or two about the playbook you have chosen. And then we'll explore your characters more once we actually get to your intro scenes. So I will pass to... Let's go to Matt, our new guy to the field. Welcome, Matt. First time on Twitch with us at Helpful Goat. We are delighted to have you here. Thank you for playing.
No problem. And I'm going to be playing... the playbook I've chosen is The Flake. My name is going to be Philo Stang. And the Flake is... he's very much a conspiracy theorist who kind of, lives in his mom's basement, but it has its own entrance and exit, so he's fine. Very kind of lone gunman vibe to him. And
Matt, just so you know, everyone in the chat is screaming your name.
Thanks, guys. And he lives in his mom's basement for a reason. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have success. And also, just so everybody knows, there is a shock collar attached to me that Andy will use in case I start being myself.
Aww. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Thanks again for joining us. Whoever wants to go next, you can pass it to them if you'd like, Matt.
Matt, pass to somebody.
I'm just going to go right below me and choose Andy.
Hey, I'm Andy, and I go by he, him, his. I play Ryle North, who goes by he, him, his. And Sam, I can't for the life of me remember what playbook Ryle is.
The Crooked.
The Crooked is my playbook. And I've decided to kind of be a little bit of a badass who's
Andy, we don't... Galway says he doesn't know if he can hear you.
Oh, you don't know if you could hear me?
Is your microphone set as an input on Slops?
Yes, I see the mic going up and down in my box.
Hear you on my Twitch stream. Elite says we can hear you, but you're quiet. So maybe turn your input up.
All the way up here.
How like on Slobs, like where's the meter going? Is it like heading into the yellow at all?
No, it's a little low.
Maybe it's using a different microphone accidentally, or
It's just the one.
okay.
You're gonna want to try to be like mid to upper green if you can get there.
Yes. Let's go to Tyler while I look for that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hi y'all. I hope you can hear me. I'm Tyler, he, him, his, and I will be playing Mordred LeFay. And the playbook I'm using is called The Exile, and that is basically your man out of time trope. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I guess I'll kick it to Rachel while Andy is still doing stuff.
Is this any better?
Oh, you're very loud for me
very
now.
loud now.
Incredibly loud.
But I'm turning you down for me. But if that's what you got to be
Yeah,
clear
we can
on.
always turn you down on Discord, and if it's good for stream.
Is this
Yeah.
clearer on stream? For me.
We have to wait.
Doesn't actually look like my mic is going any higher.
Yeah, it sounds like you're actually clipping to me now.
Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, I think it was Spunky. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Rachel. I use she, her, hers pronouns. And I will be playing Frankie C. Sable, who also uses she, her, hers pronouns. And my playbook is the Gumshoe. And Frankie is a private investigator of sorts. And she idolizes Columbo, the most amazing detective from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And she tries to
Not the
have
60s.
I said 60s. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And she tried to sorry, everybody's yelling in the chat about Andy being loud now.
Yeah, I think I'm fixing it pretty close here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah.
sound a lot better for me now.
Not better.
Right on.
Anyway, yes, she is very, she tries to embody Columbo in all the things that she does in terms of her job. So maybe I can pass it back to Andy, or were you done introducing?
I think I'm mostly done introducing, and if my levels are decent, just a little bit into the yellow, I think I should be okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay. And yeah. Anything else about
well-
Ryle? I think I'm good.
Yeah, everyone gave us their pronouns, right? Okay, great. Then let me go ahead and move on. Who would like to read our poem from Chelsea, assuming that we have one?
We do. And I can read it. Let's see. October has arrived, bringing pumpkins, spice, and everything nice. Spooky stories and games with the power to bewitch and entice. Ghosts, ghouls, and macabre unveiled from the shroud of mystique. The haunting awakens with the endless mayhem and delight called forth by these monsters of the week. Best luck and biggest excite for Matt and Sam on your HG player and GM debut. Much love, spooky goats. I can see and hear you.
Oh, thank you, Chelsea.
Chelsea, you're awesome.
Delightful. Okay, so with all of that sort of intro stuff out of the way, we have a really cool mechanic that is specific to Monster of the Week that we're about to do right now, which is called Histories. So players, if you can go ahead and open up your character sheets, and you're going to want to go to the Histories tab. So that's going to be under like Allies and Teams, Histories and Notes. And then you'll see something, it might be minimized. It's a like show history prompts. Go ahead and expand that out, because what we are about to do, everyone. So right now we have kind of crafted something of a team concept. We did that in our session 0, where we've basically decided that, you know, well, how did this team kind of come together? Like, how do they all know each other? And what we've decided is that the reason that this kind of team is banding together for this project is because they all haven't worked together before, but they all knew of each other. So it's kind of like a loose band of, I know this person from that thing, and they might be able to help us out. It's a whole bunch of that. And I think that's really interesting, because we're going to get to see all of these people grow to love, hate, befriend each other. And I'm very excited to see how this all plays out in a small little backwater town once that we actually get there. So what we're going to do right now, though, with our history prompts is I want each person to go around, and we're going to have each of you pick one of your history prompts for all of the other players. So by the end of this, once we've gone through all 4 of you, you should have 1 or 2 things connecting you to each of the other players. And then this is going to kind of inform, you know, how you all know each other, and like what the kind of dynamic will be once we actually get started. So whoever would like to go first, if you've seen one that you feel like, oh yeah, this would make sense for me to kind of randomly associate with you. That's how we're going to kind of treat this.
We just pick one, and we pick a person that we're associated with.
Yes, you pick one, and you pick a hunter that it makes sense to go with, or maybe it doesn't make sense.
First.
Cool.
Unless
would-
somebody else wanted to.
I would recommend, making a note of this in your histories and notes
Yeah.
that this is how you are related to the other people.
I think it makes sense to me that Philo, Stang, and I met on an Unsolved Crimes website. Because he's a weird internet lurker that's always doing those things. And I probably tried to test my chops at being an investigator first by seeing if I could figure out unsolved crimes. Spoiler, I could not. But makes sense to me that like somehow we met on like a forum that's designed for like working through unsolved crimes.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. What was this forum's name?
Oh, geez. Well, that's a good question.
Um,
Let me think about it a little bit, and then I'll come back to it.
Okay.
But
All right.
So, Matt, it says, decide together what infamous crime fascinates you both. And I wanted to see if you had an infamous crime that you thought would be good.
this is both from Matt and from Philo. The Interkaifeck murders.
I don't know that.
It was I think it was in the early 1900s. It was in Sweden or Norway. I get them confused because I'm an idiot. But it was a family that lived on like it was a father. It was a father, his daughter-in-law. I think their son was out at the time, but it was this family that lived in a farmhouse and had a small farm, but it was the winter, so nothing was happening. And they heard noises coming from the barn, like over the course of a couple nights. They saw footprints going into like through the snow into the barn, but never saw any coming out. And then they found evidence that basically, this is kind of, I shouldn't be laughing, but they would have family members like one by one go into the barn and then never come out. And so then when that happened, they'd send another family member out. And eventually, like like after I think 3, they're just like, okay, stop doing that. So then whoever it was came back into the house, killed the rest of the family. And then there's evidence that they stayed there for like 3 days. And they couldn't find, and then when the police showed up, partially because this was the early 1900s and forensics weren't a thing, they just kind of let whoever just walk around the house and just see anything. Neighbors were curious, people like just, it was just a thing. So yeah, it's never been discovered who did it or why or anything. So that's
What is evidence tampering anyway? You know,
I've come up with a forum name for it because I think that the people that go there think really fucking highly of themselves and think that they're really smart and they'll be able to do things. So
Okay.
they use it's basically they use the thesaurus a lot. It's like the kind of people who just like read the thesaurus and then just interchange words, even though they really shouldn't be interchanged, you know, where somebody just uses a big word in a sentence to sound really smart, but it's not quite right. So it's inexplicabletransgressions.com. Definitely aren't synonyms for unsolved crimes.
yeah. And so, and I like how you two found this website together and we're both somehow here. Yeah. I think that speaks
So
to
we
your
not
character.
lived near each other. We're like, oh, we got to get together and figure this out. We could do it.
I think
And-
you said. I think
Well,
that
and similarly, there's a prompt under my history that says that we would know each other through cryptozoology and conspiracy theory websites.
boom, boom. So that one knocked it out of the park. I don't even need to take another note. All right. So, Rachel, since you started, do you want to pick one for, Frankie, since you started, do you want to pick one for Mordred or Ryle?
Oh, do I do it for all 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jesus. No, somebody else go first. Jesus, I need to breathe through the crowd. I'm good.
Okay. That's fair. If someone already has one, go for it.
I think I have all three of mine if you want me to go.
Yeah, sure.
Look at me. I'm Andy. I came prepared.
Oh, shush. So with Frankie, this hunter is your moral compass. When you talk over things with them, their advice keeps you on the straight and narrow. Ryle doesn't have much of a moral center, and I think Frankie can keep him from the darkness. And I think Mordred, as a person at a time, tell me, Tyler, if this is anything. Could you be like one of my great like grand uncles or grandfather?
I was gonna give you this hunter as a distant relation in your family.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
I love.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Mordred, you're great. I don't know how far back I should go, but great grandfather. Great grandfather.
A lot of great.
Or is it a lot of greats? It's even more. It's
Yes, like
Gotcha.
High Middle Ages.
Right on.
Yeah. So it's been a hot minute.
Gotcha. Typing all the greats here. Hold on.
Yeah. All the grapes.
All the great.
And then I was thinking Philo. This is going to sound a little weird, but I think I like it. You're powerfully attracted to this hunter. Hey, maybe someday you'll deserve them. There's just something about you that Ryle just, I don't know if it's magic. I don't know what it is, but I can't not think about you, Philo.
It's mother's basement ambiance, you know. Yeah, awesome. I love all of this.
Yeah, I see, boss.
Sure, I've never heard the term mother's basement ambiance. Woo, a lot to digest.
You're welcome.
I could do one more. I'm just going to interject myself in between everybody's because that seems fun. Like, yeah, to do. For me and Ryle, I thought it could be, you could tell me what you think, that I caught you committing a crime, but let you go. Does that seem fitting for you, especially since I'm now your moral compass?
Yeah, like maybe you think you can kind of fix me, and I'm just like a little lost puppy to a certain extent. You can actually like guide me, and so you let me go that one time. As long as you can help me be better.
So you have to describe the crime.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to know what this crime was that you were let.
Or describe the crime that I let you go. It has to be something that my moral code allows me to get you to, for you to look the other way, basically. So it can't be like, I murdered somebody because I don't know that my moral code would look the other way unless it was like an explainable murder.
Yeah, sure.
What was it? Could be that like what you were doing was like ultimately a good thing, but that maybe you went about it like a nefarious way or something.
Yeah. What if I saw some dude on the street like looking like he was gonna beat up on his girl, and I just straight up hit him with my car. Like a really,
That did not end the way I thought it was going to end.
really nice car. Like, it was my Ferrari, and I just ran it straight into him. Would that be okay for your wife?
Because I feel like
I think he died.
Run over and start questioning, and asking all these things, and then it would be like, well, great, I see where you're coming from, but perhaps there's a different path we could take to the same thing.
Yeah.
What if like I was getting out of the car and I was about to just go up and kill him, and you like stopped me from doing that, and out of some sort of weird idea of penance, I just threw my keys at him, so he gets the car, but I ran him over. I feel like that's good Ryle, at least. Cool. I like it.
I love this. Excellent. All right, so I think we still need a couple more connections. So
Yeah, I think I have my remaining 2 because we got me and Ryle.
Oh, do we not have to do? I thought we had to each do one and then it matched up and other stuff. No? Okay.
So
I understand how this game works.
at the end of this, you will have 2 connections with each person.
Right. So we do come up with one for everybody, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, but Tyler's saying that because he already said his one for
Yeah, I mean,
Ryle.
we could also
Attention and with it.
Yeah, I could also for Ryle see the this hunter was the first to take you in, explain the modern world, and learn your origins, work out how you managed to communicate. By that point, I could speak normal English for reasons we'll get into. So that could also work if you wanted to like add that in. And so for Philo, I have.
I'm gonna slightly want to back off on that one, just because of
how short
Of how you come into the
Yes.
world, maybe. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
That makes sense.
Great.
Yeah.
We have backed off. For
Sorry.
No, you're good. For Philo, I really like this. Do you think that Philo is either like running one of these conspiracy sites or like is definitely like an avid member of a like specific conspiratorial like community?
Is a moderator on the chat.
Yeah, he's a moderator.
That actually would tie in. I think there was one I was thinking about for yours, which was that they're somehow tied into it all. So you've been keeping an eye on that, which, yeah, I can definitely see him more like the head of a bunch of other people like him.
Great. So for yours, I am going to give you this hunter belongs to an organization that has existed in your home time. But so this is, way back in my day, there was an organization that now is a like hyper conspiracy, internet thing.
So Philo is a member of the Illuminati.
Oh no, we're much nicer than the Illuminati.
I think I would adjust it just slightly for Philo because I think he'd be a part of it, but not have any idea of how deep it actually goes.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
He's definitely.
You're just in the internet conspiracy thing and you're like, yeah, but not realizing that it's.
Yeah, it's the only actual conspiracy he's involved in, and he doesn't know. So
Yeah.
I mean, it might just be like a logo on the site that Mordred saw and was like, oh, yes. Okay, great. He's good people. Like that, that kind of thing.
yeah, we saw this and thought it looked cool, so we put it
Yep.
there. No one told us to take it down. So
Yep. Perfect.
Also, I want to just throw this out there. Thank you to chat for your helping us to balance things out. And thank you for Andy for making all of these changes happen on the fly. Y'all are awesome.
These are my spoopy fingers.
Oh,
This is how I say thank you.
Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ Almighty. Tyler, finish because you have to still do mine. And also, I'll wait to interject.
Okay. So this is mine for you is I'm gonna give you it, and then there's a slight little twist on it. So this So when you met, you immediately liked and respected each other, but Mordred's respect for you comes out of a deep spite. And it's not towards you, it's towards detectives in general.
Mhm.
So there's that. Yeah, Sam, you know. You know.
So you you have spite towards me because I'm a detective?
Not to I have immense respect for you.
Okay.
And I like you, but I hate what you do.
Gotcha. I like that. That works for me. My remaining options are things like so Mordred, are we on the same bowling team?
We could be.
I think that one is so funny. It's just like you're like, you know, I like bowling. I'm gonna go with it.
It's how Mordred became accustomed to the modern times.
This is how I learned.
Can I
learned how these times worked. Was in a bowling.
Can I know vaguely? I don't want you to give away things. Can I know vaguely what you look like and kind of what your demeanor is?
Yeah, absolutely. So he wears a lot of old-timey, like vaguely late Victorian suits, and has a lot of like blue Celtic tattoos.
Gotcha.
A lot of rings.
Well, so it doesn't matter anyway. What I was going to say, the other thing was because Chad has chosen bowling team. So
They're very bowling team.
I would say that, yeah, well, let's say we're on the same bowling team. Maybe it's something you chose to kind of like blend into the time. Like, oh, yeah.
Like, how do I fit in here? And you're like, there's a bowling.
There was a flyer, you know.
And I think that I have a little bit of animosity towards you because it says like a bowling related disagreement that rubbed them the wrong way. My thoughts is that maybe you're better than me at bowling. And I don't like that because you're so new at it. So like you just come in and you're just like strike, spare. And I'm just really, you know, I'm annoyed that you
still have the guardrails up, you know.
Yeah, I'm just
For over the line.
Feels like the beginning to like a YA novel where Mordred just, you know, comes to the present and joins up a bowling team, you know?
I mean, well, welcome to Monster of the Week, because this is, you know, a live recorded. All right, so
yeah, we're on the same bowling team, and you're better than me.
I'm so great. I love this dynamic already.
All right, so I think we need. Do we still need any more for Philo, or are we all squared away?
One more, I think, for.
Well, he hasn't. What did he do for me? I don't remember. We met on
each other.
Yeah.
For Ryle, given what his was for me, I have one that just says the signs all pointed to working together, so you found them and now you work together.
Yeah. The signs being your sexy ass.
That's what I call it.
Just
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to pee again.
That's
you
okay.
do.
So as of right now, I'm loving where all of these, you know, relationships have you know, kind of together out of freaking nowhere. This is going to be quite the dynamic. I'm perplexed, but you know, we'll figure out where it goes along the way. And I do want to wait for Rachel to begin our little intro scenes. So what is there that we can be doing in the interim? One thing I want to make you all aware of is that right at the end of session, so please make sure I don't forget, there is literally a section called End of Session Notes. And basically what happens at that point is, depending on what has happened over the course of the session that day, you get to check off some boxes. If you check off yes to one or two questions, you get 1 experience point. If you mark off 3 or 4, you get to mark off 2. Now, in the Monster of the Week, I think it's 5 total experience points you need to level up. And what happens when you level up is that you remove all the experience marks that you have at that moment, and you get to pick a new skill. And I think you also get like a new move from your playbook, and you get to increase one of your stats by 1. Yeah. So what's going to happen now, everyone, now that we're all here, is we're going to have a few snazzy little intro scenes, and I'm going to use a couple of them to illustrate a few of the mechanics of the game. And so are you guys ready? I mean, you're all here, so you have no choice.
Yes. Sorry. For this was totally silent. I was also muted. So
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to start with Mordred.
Oh, no.
All right. So I had a little subtitle for this one. It's called The Final Problem. And Mordred, actually, I'm going to go ahead and quickly turn down the Roll20 music just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Oh, now I can't hear it at all. There we go. Okay. Mordred, you hear the roar of the Reichenbach Falls nearby. It's almost deafening from your current position, but you don't even clock it. Your mind is focused. You have dreamed of this exact moment for a while. You are on the precipice for what you hope, no, what you know is going to be the last time. You've chased him as he has chased you, but this time you have the upper hand. The perfect place, the perfect escape, the perfect crime to put an end to the vicious cycle. His friend, and he always has his friends, the Dr. Watson, has followed your deception and left him alone. You are presently right behind a rather large boulder on this cliff, and you peer over and you see none other than Sherlock Holmes, or, well, Arthur. You know him by a lot of names at this point. What do you do?
We are going to attempt to fight Arthur. Or
Okay.
Sherlock.
So you're stepping out from, your hideaway spot. Okay. So you step out from behind your rock, and even though he has his back turned to you, must it always come to this? I really thought I'd given you the slip back at Canterbury, but clearly you caught on.
This is where it ends, Arthur.
So, shall we do it then? Good old fisticuffs. For
No,
time's sake. All right. He turns around and are you equipped with anything right now? Or are you gonna just go for it?
I think I'd have my knife with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brandish your knife. Sherlock doesn't have anything on him right now. It's Watson that normally keeps the artillery.
Well, if he's unarmed, I'll throw the knife over the falls and then square up to fight.
Oh, well, you didn't have to do that, but I'll take whatever advantage I can get. Are you going to be the one to throw the first strike?
Yes, I will be, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so welcome everyone to our first roll of the game. We're gonna have Mordred roll to kick some ass. So Mordred, when you do that, why don't we go ahead and just mention what happens on your various rolls. So everyone rolls 2d6 in this game. Those are the only dice that anyone will be rolling. When you roll to kick some ass, you roll plus your tough skill. And on a 7+, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm against each other. So in Monster of the Week, unless there is a specific reason why you would not take harm from the other person, you both are inflicting harm against each other. And the amount of harm is based on whatever dangers are in the game. So right now, if you inflict 7+, you inflict the harm, and you get harm in return. On a 10+, you get one extra effect. On a 6 or below, you mark experience and you take harm. So, yeah, let's go ahead and have you make that roll and see what we get.
Right.
A 9. Okay. All right. So that is a 7 and above. So you're inflicting harm on each other. So tell me what is your single bare-fisted punch's damage?
I do not have the punch-ins.
Okay. All right. So that's cool. So that's going to be like probably just a straight up like 1 harm.
Yeah, if I took martial arts, which I didn't, it's just one harm.
Okay, yeah. So he's gonna take 1 harm, and guess what? He's sucker punching you right before you even land your blow. And Mordred, you two are going to take 1 harm. Now, one thing I want to mention to everyone is all of these players above you, they're all just humans. They only have 7 hit points. Unlike D&D, where you have, the sky's the freaking limit. So in this, if you take 4 harm, you are critically injured, and if you do not get it treated, your character dies. Sorry. So right now he's taken 1 harm. If he takes 3 more punches, Mordred's not going to be looking good. These 2 people are experienced combatants, and so shit's gonna happen. So yeah, he sucker punches you, but you get a nice good blow. Where are you hitting him?
I'm gonna go right for his stupid face. Like right in the jaw.
Oh, you hit Arthur right on his chiseled jaw. And yeah, he's knocked back a little bit, but not so far that he's at this point in danger of, falling or anything. It's just the 2 of you, so I assume you're going to be rolling to punch a little bit more?
I'm actually, if this is okay with you, because I know use magic in this is a little different. You just kind of say what you're trying to do. So I would like to use magic to basically propel myself, like with extra force to tackle him off the falls.
Absolutely. All right. So our first roll to use magic roll. So with those, you roll plus your weird stat.
Yep.
And let's see what we get here. A 7. Okay, so on a 7 and above,
My
it works.
use magic is a little different because I have one of my abilities here is ancient magics. So on a 7 to 9, you can opt to not use a glitch and instead take -1 forward. So I'll be doing that.
Okay, so we're not going to have a glitch. So let's see. On it works that issues, choose your effect. So your effect is right now you are magically propelling yourself forward. And what does your magic look like?
It is very Celtic in nature. So this is like you see like the aspect of a like astral bull up here around me as I charge forward and slam into him.
Okay. As you do, you notice that the ground around his feet looks pretty weathered. It looks like the rock is not super stable. And you are charging forward. Is your goal to like embrace him and bring him over the edge with you, or are you just trying to like push and then back off?
I am trying to go with him because I have planned for this moment.
Okay. Well, you have taken Arthur by a little bit of surprise. He was expecting that the moment on the kind of the precipice was going to be a fair bit bloodier. So you took a surprise on him, and yeah, you are successful. You are catapulting both of yourselves down the falls. Is there anything that you do as you're falling?
Yes. So I am going to, at this point, try to create distance from him.
Okay.
And then I am going to basically try and use my large overcoat as almost like a makeshift parachute to kind of cushion my fall. And then if he's still within range before I do that, I want to try and give him a swift kick to the face to make sure that he's out.
Okay, so there is a lot of rolls happening here, but I'm going to start off first with, I want you to roll to act under pressure because you are cascading down a cascade.
Yes.
And this is a lot of lightning fast movements, and he is equally as adept as you. And so he's going to be responding to the fact that you're trying to break away.
Yep.
So I want to see if you can roll to act under pressure to release yourself from him because he's holding on to you as well.
Add a -1 to that. I forgot to put that in.
Yeah, that is a failure, my friend.
Yep.
So go ahead and mark 1 experience for me.
Alrighty.
And on a failure, this is not going to go how you intended. You try to wrench yourself free, but his grasp is too strong. Even against your own magic, you feel his kind of fighting back. He's like, no, you've done this. You're going down with me. And as you try to pull away, he just knees you right in the stomach, and go ahead and take a good 1 harm.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is all happening so fast. And you think in this moment, holy crap. Yeah, I guess we are about to die because I can't get away and there's no way I'm going to be able to soften my landing. And there's only a few hundred feet left. But an impact is not what happens next. You look down and at first you see the turbulent water and the mist, and it's all blurry, and you see the jagged rock at the base of this waterfall. But instead of an impact, Mordred, why don't you tell me what it's like when your character just transports through time?
Yeah. So it's always involuntary, and it's most of the time it is with Arthur, just at the moment, where one of us is going to finally kill the other. And it's a huge slap on the face, whirling, until I wind up wherever I wind up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's probably going to feel like an impact by the time, I'm finally wherever I wind up next. And we're always separated.
Okay.
At that point. So,
I love all of that. That is not what happens in this moment.
Oh no, not like that.
This time, at first the mist, that was around you, it's now become all consuming. You cannot see anything. You feel this awful, terrible gut wrench. And you're now not only feeling that, you're feeling yourself being torn apart and then reassembled atom by atom. And you're feeling all of your nerves connecting, and it's terrible. And then as your body is coming together in this white mist, you in your mind's eye, you see your nemesis, you see Arthur, you see Sherlock, you see the Abel to your Cain. And for the first time ever, you see something that you have only ever felt before. You see between each of you the strands of fate. They're stretching like vines connecting you. And there are these white, vibrant lines. And there's hundreds of them. And then you notice on a corner, perhaps connecting your shoulder to like his abdomen, you notice that on that strand about halfway through, there's like a black ichor that's bubbling and effervescing, and it's spreading and it's growing at an immense pace, starting to like venom, symbiote between these vines. And then it's the moment it's about to touch you, everything dissolves away into this white. And we are cutting to white, and we're now moving on to our good friend Philo. How's it going, Matt?
Hi.
Philo, you are in your mother's basement. What's it look like down here? Yeah, real steamy.
Not great.
Yeah.
When I
What's
sure to grab my glasses.
Can't see without my glasses. What's it look like down here? Like when you are hard at work?
When I'm hard at work, it is dark. The only light is really coming from the multiple computer monitors that are set up around me so that I can keep tabs on things. And they're definitely not used for porn or anything like that.
No.
But it's very much an unfinished basement. It's something that it became my room when I just dragged my mattress down there because that was where the family computer was when I was younger. And I got tired of having to, walk up and down to go get it whenever there was something new I needed to share, which was a lot.
How many cans of Mountain Dew?
0 cans. I've moved on to bottles because I need.
It's more efficient that way. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So right now you are just entrenched in something. You are connecting all of these dots, and like what is that process? Can you describe what exactly it is that you're doing when you are trying to come to some conclusion?
It's very much Charlie Day, Pepe Sylvia. There's a board. There is printouts of everything. It's up there. It's connected. And I make the connections. One of the things, I think one of my attributes is that if I'm looking for wider patterns, I actually can find them, depending, but it's very frenetic. It's very much, leave me alone. I'm yelling at my mom when she asks me if I need anything, kind of.
Yeah.
Just it's laser focus.
Regardless
of how ridiculous it might be, but
I love it. Why don't you go ahead and give me your roll to investigate a mystery right now, because you're connecting these. Actually, no, you have the special move about looking for wider picture things, right? Can you read that to us? Yeah, can you read that move to us, the connect the dots move?
So at the beginning of each mystery, if I look for the wider patterns that current events might be a part of, I make a sharp roll.
Okay. And what does that grant you?
So depending on how it goes, it grants me the ability to ask any of the questions that I have here to the keeper. Which is easy.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and do that?
All right. Where am I? So I would do the advanced investigate a mystery or investigate. Nope.
So advanced is something that you only get after having leveled up sufficiently. You get access to those advanced moves, and they only happen when you get like a 12 and above.
Okay. So all right, so investigate a mystery with sharp.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
13.
You got an advanced success here. Okay.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Amazing. Holy kibbles and bits, Batman. Okay, so this is how we're gonna resolve this. All right. Before you even ask your question, I wanna give you something. Philo, all of the dots and lines behind you are converging on one place at one very specific time because of how well your role was. And that happens to be tonight at 9 p.m. You don't know what, but you know that something has to happen. And you know exactly everything that you are going to need to bring with you to catalog this, it's kind of like very abstract anomaly that, is going to happen. And your location is a derelict church on the outside of your town. You do have a problem, though. Your mom's car is in the shop. You don't own a car yourself. And in fact, because of your reclusive ways, you don't really engage with many other people in your neighborhood at all because they're all beneath you. They would think you're weird anyway. But there is one, and fortunately enough for you, they happen to be your next door neighbor, Frankie. But you do know that they get home at 8 p.m. and she is a very, very hard worker. And so you do know that whatever the hell you're about to ask of her, you better damn be convincing, because this isn't the first time you've tried to make Frankie go on something with you, and it's been a shit show. So yeah, I'm going to give you that. And I wanted you to go ahead and ask me, your questions. You get to hold 3 whole questions. Whew. All right.
So one of them I think you've already answered, which is when and where will the next critical event occur? And that's at the derelict church at 9. So is this connected to previous mysteries I or anybody have investigated? Or any of the other 3?
So I would say that this is absolutely connected to other mysteries, not in the most straightforward of ways. And so at this point, you're able to kind of see that there might be connecting lines between 2 very disparate dots. But you think right now you need just a couple of more pieces of information to see exactly how this event that you're about to hopefully encounter will fit into this greater puzzle. And you have another question?
I do. So a couple of them. I guess I could ask this maybe about Frankie. Are they connected to current events more than they're saying?
Is Frankie connected to current events more than they're saying?
Yeah.
My answer would be no.
Okay.
Because until this point, your experience with Frankie, and I'm going to actually let you ask that of somebody else, because to your knowledge at this point, Frankie has not been involved in anything that is quite this deep. So I'm going to say no to that. But if you want to ask that, like a similar question, I'll go ahead and grant you that.
I say, how does this church, or it's how does this mystery, how does it connect to the bigger picture?
Okay. Yeah.
I know this is early on, so I mean, we just started. So like, if there's not a lot of info here, I totally understand.
I mean, the whole point about me being the keeper is that whenever I'm telling you guys something, I am never going to lie unless I am acting as an NPC who would be lying to you. But when I'm speaking to you as the keeper, when I'm giving you answers to your questions as keeper, I'm being straightforward. And so right now, because you have succeeded, I got to give you something for it. What I will say is that the big part about this church is not that it is a church, but kind of geographically where it's located. You know that I want to say, you're somewhere along the East Coast, probably. So let's say, you're in West Virginia, maybe. If you and Frankie are okay with having existed in West Virginia. This is also a question for Frankie.
Yes, I'm thinking. I think that I would want that she could be, but she would want to live in a large city there.
Sure. Yeah.
Not Huntington.
Yeah. not.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the large city is in West Virginia, but
let's
city crimes are important.
Let's put you in Virginia and you'll be in Richmond because that one's easy.
Sure.
So
I'll trust you.
So yeah, you know that this church, okay, maybe it's not on the outside of town. Maybe it's, a little bit more towards, the mountains. And you know that a couple of these kind of weird anomalies, one's been in Colorado, one's been in northern Italy, but again, you don't really have much beyond geography to really point you in any sort of direction here. So yeah, now I have a question for you, Philo. You know that Frankie's gonna need a little bit of convincing. So what are you gonna do to get Frankie on board on this late night after hours trip to a derelict church?
I just knowing Frankie is the gumshoe and knowing that I have tried to take her on wild goose chases before, or what she called wild goose chases, were clearly there was something there. We just missed it. She just doesn't understand.
Of course.
But ultimately, she needs proof, or she needs something. Let's call it probable cause. And so, there's no way I'm going to make her, there's no way she's going to come down into the basement. So I'll just take pictures of my board and my evidence and show her that at least in an outdoors, if not public area. But yeah, I know that it's going to be evidence that she needs to convince her. It's probably not going to be anything I can really say.
Okay.
Just because, that's, guys, talking and to people and its nuance and its subtlety. And she's going, I'm not good at that. She's going to need to see what I have evidence wise.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. So you gather up your materials, whatever rig you might have, whatever you think you might be needing when you go to this church, and you pack that all up and you head over to your neighbor, Frankie. So let's have our first little scene. Actually, I want to go ahead and if you guys could describe how your characters look exactly.
I mean, I'm kind of there already.
Nice.
I do have, I've showed this to the crew before, but I bought this as a joke 2 years ago. It is just my possum with the pentagram and eat trash, hail Satan.
I can see why Ryle would be so riled up.
Riled up.
I already made that joke earlier. Only Sam heard it though.
Yeah. All right. And go, let's hear what Frankie looks like.
Yeah. So Frankie is a young girl, 20, I think, is what I said.
Yeah.
And kind of just average. And she has a short, kind of messy pixie cut of brown hair. and is almost always wearing a long tan trench coat with an unlit cigar either in a pocket or in her hands.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, Frankie, you've had a terribly long day of work. You know, you're a hard worker, and like you literally just pulled in, like poured yourself, you know, a cup of water or whatever because you don't drink alcohol yet. And you hear a knock at your door.
Frankie, open the door.
Gonna like pinch the bridge of my nose. Just
Frankie?
kinda take the water back like it's a shot and put it
Frankie?
down on the glass. And just
Frankie,
open the door. But I have that little like that little chain kind of a thing. So I just open it like this much.
Hi, Frankie.
Hi, Philo.
Frankie, I need your help.
I'm very tired.
I know, but I found something. And I really need your help with it.
Did you?
Yes, I did. And I know I've said that before and haven't shown you anything, but look at this. And I'd show her the pictures on my phone. I'd show her any of the armful of papers that I've brought over.
As I try to swipe through to see the different pictures, and of course I see uncomfortable amounts of porn accidentally as I'm swiping through. I'm like, oh my God. Philo, what the?
I got hacked. Anyway, look at the picture. Look at the evidence.
What is this evidence for? Is there a new Mothman?
Maybe. But no, that maybe, but that's not what this is. Look, all I know is look at the board. Look at the board. Look where everything is coming to this point. Things that didn't seem to connect are now, they're going to be at this church at 9.
All right. Philo, I want you to go ahead and roll to manipulate someone. Now, I do want to just go ahead and throw this out there for all of those in chat. I'm not a huge fan of the phrase manipulate someone because it there's like a negative connotation there. But what is actually happening is, you know, he's just trying to persuade. I feel like persuade someone is a little bit kinder of a thing. And so when rolling for to manipulate someone against another hunter on a 10+, they do what you ask and they mark experience, and they also get +1 forward. On a 7 to 9, whoever is being asked to do something gets to mark experience if they do what you ask. And on a miss, so if you roll 6 or below, you roll experience, and they get to mark experience if they decide not to do what you have asked. Bear in mind that monsters and minions cannot normally be manipulated. So yeah, go ahead and try to roll to manipulate your neighbor.
That's a 5.
Oh no!
It's actually a 6.
Because you got a +1.
Yeah, because you got a
Oh,
+1.
God.
So
Is that just real quick? Is that something when it's the plus or minus forward, is that something I should have? Okay.
this is going to, so this is going to be a miss. So go ahead and mark experience for me, Matt.
All right.
Philo. But before we calculate this failure, because there is another hunter in the room, on the other side of the door, Frankie, I want to give you the opportunity to say whether or not you want to help Philo out here. How's your relationship with him? Do you feel positively towards him? Do you think you might give him some slack here?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that we are actually friends. And she feels like he's very smart and is often onto things, but she also feels really sorry for him.
Okay.
Just because she doesn't think that he has any other friends.
Yeah. I
But
look.
she is going to ask him a ton of questions about the evidence.
We 100% will absolutely be going through all of those.
Yeah.
But I want you to go ahead and roll help out. See if we can get a +1 so that it's a success here. So roll plus cool.
Yeah. It just is a process to roll. Well, that's
Oh
failure.
my gosh.
Whoa, fails all around. I get experience.
Yeah. you get experience, and there is right now there's no like obvious that you are encountering by staying home. But I'm going to take this opportunity to hold one hard move. So at some point in the future, something bad's going to happen. And you're going to just have to kind of face those consequences. So, I would say with this, Frankie, you are right now, against your better judgment, not against your better judgment. You have decided that, you are too tired. If it was any other night, you would absolutely be down to go on this escapade with Philo. But you can give him the opportunity to like lend him a couple bucks so he can get an Uber. If he's
So wait, because I failed the roll, I can't make the choice to go?
I would say that you have not been convinced in this moment.
Even though it would be in law. Because like I here's my question. That generally, at least in other role-playing games, you can still make choices as long as they're aligned with your character, but there's just consequences. Because it seems to me like it would be in line with my character to help him.
Oh, okay. You know what?
Wouldn't to gain experience if you did.
Yeah, you are not gaining experience now. Is the consequence. So they mark experience if they decide not to do what you asked. So because you are doing what he asked, you're going to go on. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So I don't get experience from my failed help out roll?
No.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah, and so
yeah.
You're going to go along. You're not going to be happy about it though.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to lean in to kind of look at the photos. And you said it's like a lot of like the whole red string craziness.
Yes, but it's a very good phone, so you can zoom in and see what's connecting very easily.
Mom,
so you're going to see
things, but you can see they do definitely all kind of come toward the same area.
You're going to see Frankie kind of make a shift as she looks at this, and she's going to pull the unlit cigar out of her pocket and put it in her mouth. And she's going to point to one of the red dots and just say, "All right. So what's this one?"
That's I don't know. That's just it was something. I kept getting reports of some like they just kept seeing something at some. I'm
going to ask you this question.
All right.
Is it from a reputable source?
I think so. Yes.
Is this from a reputable source? I'm going to point at a different
Ryan with Schmickamedia.
I definitely heard about it first from Schmickamedia, but I do check the sources on there. And so, yes, the information I got on that one is definitely reputable.
So I'm going to ask another question. What connects all of them together here?
That's what I need your help with, Frankie. I don't know. But all I know is they're coming to this location, and we need to be there to find out what happens.
All right, but you owe me.
Just add it to my tab.
She's going to take the cigar out of her mouth and just say, "Okay, let me go get my car."
It's good, because if you said no, I was going to steal it.
Wow. That's pretty
this is
terrible.
Very important, Frankie.
You know I would find you. I'm a good detective.
Well, yeah, I told you where I was going.
Okay. And she'll grab her keys and head out.
Excellent. All right. Yeah. So
That's so funny.
it's about a half-hour drive. And I'm not going to make you guys act out this whole drive on the way there. But you notice that like because of your conversation at this point, it's like getting like 8:50. So you're going to have to quicken your pace once you actually get there to make sure you're in the spot whenever this thing is going to happen. But I do want to give you guys the opportunity. Do you have anything that you would be talking about on the way there? What kind of car does Frankie drive?
Oh, it's really, it's like old and beat up and foreign, but like
Okay.
European foreign. Yeah, it's a convertible that the convertible part doesn't work. It's like the kind of foreign, like European car that they no longer sell in America. She got it for, really cheap on Craigslist.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very dusty and dirty, and the top does not come down.
And it's okay. Nice. Excellent. And it's dirty and dusty, but it's not messy. I can't imagine
No,
Frankie
absolutely
having a
not.
messy car. Yeah. Okay, great.
But there are paw prints from her dog.
Oh, nice. What kind of dog?
Nice. What kind of dog does Frankie?
Oh, it's a big droopy beagle,
Droopy Beagle.
and it doesn't have a name. She just calls him dog. Or like a basset
Nice.
cow. It's not a beagle, like a basset cow.
Oh,
Sorry,
a
like
basset.
droopy.
Okay.
That's the droopy one.
What is that?
That is the droopy one. It's like a dachshund, a basset, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a name. She just calls him dog.
Oh man, I was gonna say, does she call it Beagle? 'Cause that would be fun.
No, because Columbo has a beagle that he doesn't have a name, and he goes by dog.
Okay, all right.
And he goes on detective things with him in his car.
I love it.
Down.
I love it. Okay, big.
Not
big
that people know
basset.
Columbo to know all my references, but it's fine.
Hey, we may not catch all of them, but we're here for it because we're literally right here. So
Chelsea
All right.
says, "Dog the Basset Hound," which now makes me think of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
That's exactly what I was just thinking of.
dog
The
the
monster.
basset counter. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, great. Okay, awesome. What do you guys talk about on your way to the
I-
church at night?
100% ask him just constant questions about all of the things that were actually, who does he think is involved? Where did he get this information? How does he think that they're connected?
Okay, why don't you go ahead and I would like you to roll to investigate a mystery based on what you've seen and like the kind of dots that you might be connecting in your own head based on the investigations that you have been involved in and perused and such. Oh.
I'm just full of failures, so I mark experience on this one, right?
Yeah, but even with we're not even gonna make it out of this alive, guys. We're just asking questions.
You know how bad I roll.
Yeah. So that is, I mean, guys, you're just doing me favors. I now have 2 hard moves I get to use on.
God.
2 hard moves. And these will be applied to the people that made them. So right now, each of you has a hard move against you. You've marked experience. You still get to hold one.
To ask,
Yeah,
Let me
you get to ask one question.
am I asking it to you
Yes.
or okay. What about, so is this in terms of like, so if I asked what is being concealed here, am I asking what is Philo concealing or just like what is kind of going on? And
So I would say that you can't really ask that question yet because you're not in a place where something is being concealed.
okay. What about what happened? What happened here? Is that possible to ask about, like for all the connecting things to kind of know a bit about what it is? I want to understand what it is he's excited about.
Yes. So the one thing that you've been able to put together that Philo has been unable to thus far is that in each of these instances, there has been some kind of a report of, something is where it's not supposed to be. Something is causing damage to those things around it. People are being hurt. And there's not been a specific trigger. No one has known what exactly the thing is, but it's happening. And it's in each of these locations that he has mentioned and that you've seen in those dots. Is that, it might not have been perfectly coincidental with, the locations and times of those dots, but, in those areas, oh yeah, there was this one thing that happened. It's kind of weird. Maybe you read about it on inexplicabletransgressions.com.
I forgot that was the name.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you have that, and that's kind of made you feel more comfortable in the fact that you're going on this late night, needle in a haystack kind of situation. Yeah. So, I would say, the night has gone on. You arrive at the outside of this church. It's derelict, but it's not completely decrepit. Like, there is still a functioning door. There's ivy kind of growing up the side. It's not been kept by anyone in quite some time. But yeah, you're free to approach this place.
Okay. Do we? Oh, I was gonna ask if we had things like flashlights, but I have a fucking cell phone, right? So, because we're in modern times, so I could just,
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. We are what we're in now.
We're basically, 2018,
Okay.
So like everyone's got smartphones, kind of deal, except for maybe Mordred.
I gave him one once we got on our bowling team. I gave him like an old burner one that's just like a
Yeah.
Motorola green and
Yeah.
yeah. So
What are you guys doing right now to investigate?
So what, Philo? Are we meeting someone here? Are we looking around? What is your goal?
So I'd like to. My goal, and I don't know. I just know that everything that I've been looking at for so long, this is where it's telling me to go.
I would say, based on your 13 earlier, that not only that, that it's going to be happening like within the sanctuary. This is like an old Catholic church, so there's like a confessional kind of thing, and like you're pretty certain it's going to be like in that main area where the mass is held, but you're outside right now.
So could I roll for read a bad situation?
I would say at this point that you think you are in a bad situation. So right now everything is pretty, orderly. It's just dark, to your knowledge. Yeah.
Look, Frankie, I wish I could tell you more. I wish I knew more. I wish I could, but what I do know is that we need to go inside here.
Now, Frankie, you would know that that would be trespassing.
My God.
That's okay. Sometimes you got to break the law to enforce the law.
How long has the church been derelict?
Probably like, I want to say it's been derelict maybe 50 years.
Okay, so now it's just abandoned property. We can go in. There's no laws.
Matt's like, I
The
understand.
lawyer.
So I'm gonna walk up to like the door area, and I'm gonna look at him and I say, okay, I'm gonna investigate this. But if it's dangerous, you got to have my back. You know I don't have a gun.
I do have. Yeah,
You don't use it
I know
unless
you
you have
don't.
to because they're terrible things. But
I know you. Don't worry. I'm not getting that sense here, but I get
you're not?
everything
Like this
told me.
creepy abandoned church that we just drove to because everything told you that everything combines here?
You watch too many horror movies, Frankie.
They're relaxing.
It-
And I'll
then-
try and
then
open the
you
door.
should be very at ease here.
The door is locked.
Of course.
Oh, is there stained glass window we can punch through somewhere?
Actually, you do
Sorry,
already,
Tyler.
Catholic heart.
you do already, unfortunately,
Filthy
see
Jew, what
that,
can I
that
say?
some of the windows have already, had, there's clearly debris that has been thrown through and broken.
Damn kids.
Those damn kids. And so, you think, with the right amount of work, you could kind of like lever yourself, up to where the glass has been broken away from the window itself. You might be able to sneak in that way. On the other hand, maybe just enough force on the door might bust it open,
Yeah, I'm not very strong. I might want to at least see if I can look inside first. Can I have Philo help me up so that I could try and look inside the broken window part? Or
You can absolutely try. This is a human normal thing.
okay, I do that.
You look in. You're kind of. I guess he's like either holding you up with his arms or like you're on his shoulders and you're peering in. Obviously, there are no lights on. It is pitch black. You can see like the shadow.
My little tiny phone flashlight in there.
Yeah, you can see the shadow of your head like being casted down because it's a pretty vibrant moon outside. But you point in, and what you see at this point is, there's kind of the obvious signs that there have at some point, you can't tell from this far away, but there have at some point been like squatters. People have been in this property within the last 50 years. You don't know if they're still there. You have no way of knowing right now from here.
There may or may not be people here within the last 50 years. It's a little hard to tell. That's a really, really, really big gap, I realize, but I think we'll need to go in.
Good detective work, Frankie.
I'm gonna just kick him in the ear, lightly while I'm standing on his shoulders. Just like move my foot, like.
Matt, you take one harm. No. No.
I'm gonna see if I'm looking through it. Can I just try and crawl through it then?
Yeah,
Pulling me up?
yeah. He hoists you up there. You're able to do it. You kind of steer clear of the of most of the glass. But what you weren't expecting was that, where you were outside, there was kind of a lip that you were able to grab onto. Here, it's just a straight drop of like 15 feet. So unless you can think of some way to gradually bring yourself down, you might risk taking a little bit of damage on a fall.
Can I do this thing where I like hang by my fingertips and then my feet will be a lot lower and then I'll only be dropping like 8 feet?
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'm not 7 feet tall. I realize this.
if you want your fingers to get cut up severely on the glass,
I don't. I don't want that. But I'm sticky. But I'm sticky. Yeah, could I just crawl down the wall like gunk? Okay.
Can I roll?
and as you are trying to make your way into this church, We're not. There is a neighbor, about 100 feet away from this church itself. You see like a little light turn on in the house, and you see someone looking out the window, or at least Philo does. You don't, Frankie. But you see someone is noticing you guys hoisting yourselves up into this derelict.
Your own business.
Yeah. And go forth, multiply.
Yeah, no, Frankie is going to realize that she absolutely is not acrobatic enough for this. And she's going to say, never mind, bring me back. Bring me back. I can't do it.
And say, well, our other option is that we ram the door. So what do you want?
Glass.
I just, what do we do
Break
here?
the other windows that are easier to get to.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I'd lower her back down.
I'm gonna say, give me your shirt. Give me your overshirt. I know you're wearing a flannel. Can I give me your flannel?
Oh, fine.
I'm gonna take his flannel. I'm gonna wrap it around my wrist. I'm gonna try and quietly punch out a lower window.
All right. I want you to roll to act under pressure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or me.
I love it that Matt's cosplaying as Philo.
Yeah.
Gotta take off your flannel now.
So into it.
Brought my glasses that make me look like Robert Kennedy.
Make success.
Yay!
Okay.
Finally.
All right. So on a roll to act under pressure, on a mixed success, the keeper is going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. I'm going to give you a worse outcome. So
Great.
So you successfully punch through, and you've made a large enough gap that you're like, yeah, I could just kind of step through this. We could both do that, and I'll be fine. But that shirt wrapped around your fist was not enough to silence the fact that all of that glass on the inside is cascading onto a very hard tile floor. And that sound was unfortunately within earshot of something inside. You're going to hear like a little bit of like a and yeah, you Frankie, you are already in when you hear this. Yeah.
I'm gonna turn back and to Philo and say, get in. There's something in here.
At which point I try to shamble my way inside through the window.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you are both inside.
That's what?
Yeah. I would like for one.
Mickey, not you. Sam.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Regardless, so I would like one of the two of you to roll to read a bad situation.
What does read a bad situation use? Which skill?
Yeah, sharp.
My sharp is 1.
Mine is 2.
I know we don't need a metagame, but so, we can a little bit.
All right. So are you going to give me that roll, Philo?
Yeah, remember, you have to click through like 3 things, so it takes a little while. Sam, you're out of focus.
I was going to say that.
There you go.
7.
Mixed success. No, it's a 9.
Yeah, no, 9. Yeah, well, it's
the math.
You, I would give you the opportunity at this point, because you have your phone, to offer to help out to bring this to a full success.
Me?
Yes,
Shit. Okay. Such a good roller. Let's do it.
but you do have to tell me how you are helping him out if you would like to do that.
So what is he trying to do? Because you wanted him to read a bad situation. Is he trying to like look for the thing?
Basically, he has heard of this thing that is around, and
So I'm very trained in, the ways of detectives, obviously, as a real legitimate detective. And I know how to do sweeps with my flashlight in such a way that I cover all of the space, but I also know how to hold it in such a way that if you hold a flashlight in the dark close enough to your face as you're looking, if you hit anything with eyes, the eyes will glow back at you, even if it's too dark for you to see anything else.
yeah.
So I'm going to try and do like a full sweep with the flashlight to see if I can help figure things out and see if I can catch any eyes.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead and roll to help out.
Do it.
You got this, Pager. I believe in you.
I don't have a whole lot of cool,
I believe.
or do I? Hey, mixed success.
Yes. Your help grants them +1 on their roll, so it's now a full success.
Yeah.
Also expose yourself to trouble or danger.
Thank you for finishing that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever fully good in Monster of the Week.
Yeah. So Frankie, you are totally successful in, panning your flashlight, your phone's light, whatever, around in this church. And just as you do, unfortunately, you kind of get it right in the wrong moment, because what was making this was the cat, a feral cat that has now jumped at this light source, and it has gone talons bared, claws bared, and
This cat count as a monster.
no, this is a feral cat. It's not a monster, but it does match up.
Minion.
I get it. I'm just being a dick. Just a
It does scratch up your hand quite a bit. And in doing so, you drop your flashlight and the bulb cracks. And so now we're without a flashlight. But on the full success for Read a Bad Situation, I do get to have Matt answer or ask get to have Philo ask me 3 questions. What is the best way in? What is the best way out? Are there dangers we have not noticed? What is the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What is the best way to protect the victims?
From the cat.
So, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Good one.
Yes. The danger you haven't noticed is twofold. 1, you haven't been keeping track of the time. 2, that neighbor, you didn't see them phone the police.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the neighbor what?
You did not see the neighbor phone the police, but at this point, your suspicions are pretty high that is what's happened. And so, regardless of your time that you have for this moment to occur at 9 p.m., you have only a limited amount of time before you both need to GTFO.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so we've got the cat, we've got police on their way, we got a neighbor. What's the biggest threat?
Your biggest threat's probably getting detained.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And then I can't remember. The cat jumped at the source, but it ran away, right?
yeah, it has fled to some other corner of the room. You get the sense that if you try approaching it, it's already feral. It's gonna, definitely attack you again. It's been threatened. This has been where it's called home for a while, and now there are people here invading its den.
So with the threat of the cat and with the police and everything, what's our best way out?
Your best way out is your best way in, through that window. You don't know if you can unlock this front door. You haven't looked at that yet. And you also don't know, what the geography of this floor plan is. So the only thing you're aware of right now is how you got in and the way to and from that. But yeah, all right. So you guys are in the building. Where are you heading now?
Where are we heading now, Philo? Is it in this part of the building? Do we need to look around? Is there a basement? Is there a second floor? I mean, I can help lead the investigation if you want, but you seem to know. I think I was just a chauffeur, wasn't I?
No, you were needed here.
You could fit through.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know about the windows. Or the churches have them. Anyway,
You never been to a church, Philo?
I've been near them. I know of them.
She looks at your shirt and just says, does it burn you to be inside here?
Oh, no, Jesus isn't here anymore.
Jesus left 50 years ago.
Oh, that's whose footprints I see on the floor.
Yeah, sometimes you see two sets.
I hate you so much. Can I investigate around now that I'm inside to try and
Yeah.
see?
What are you doing to investigate?
So I saw footprints. I saw like evidence of somebody being here. Now that I'm closer, can I see any more recent evidence that can tell that somebody or something has been here?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll to investigate a mystery.
Investigate a mystery. Full success.
Full success. So on a full success for investigate a mystery, you get to hold 2 questions. So your questions are: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What's it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Can I ask where did it go? To try and figure out where tracks and stuff lead?
And you are specifically looking at footprints, right?
Yes. Or just signs that somebody has been here recently.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it could be like broken things or like a piece of cloth on a pew or something.
Sure. What you see around you, the most recent signs of existence are all from that cat. You see like food wrappers and blankets and stuff kind of tossed about, but you don't actually find any other people within this church.
Okay.
Yeah.
My second question then is going to be, what is being concealed here? Is there something that is there a trap door? Is there something? Is it just like a totally normal church with nothing weird going on? Or
the moment this thought comes to your mind, Frankie, there's like a searing sound that is emanating from just across the what's the big room called that the mass is held in?
You worked at a church. I don't know.
Yeah,
The sanctuary.
I mean,
the sanctuary hall. Yeah. I did work in a church for 6 years. Don't look at me like that. I should know these things. No. And you actually look at the confession box and you see that it is unlike everything else within this, dark, derelict church. It is glowing. It is vibrant. It is almost blinding the light from within one of those 2 confessional chambers.
Oh, God, get out.
Gotta go in there.
You notice that? That seems...
To go in there.
What?
The opposite of danger sense. I love it.
You think that's what we're here for?
I mean, it'd be a hell of a coincidence.
All right, stay behind me. And I'm going to walk forward.
Says the person without the firearm.
Yeah.
Hey, man, protecting at all costs. Except without gun.
Here is a hunting rifle.
Yeah. I had my arm out like this, where it's it's okay, I'll get it. My arm is holding you behind me so that and I'll slowly walk over and try and open the confessional that's glowing brightly.
They just think I lifted you in.
All right. And do you guys open the door?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. You open the door and materializing before you is Mordred. Mordred, welcome to mostly present day. Do you guys see this person dressed in weirdly late Victorian clothes, in a confessional, still kind of glowing with this vibrant white light, and they're not looking too good.
Paint yourself in black light or something?
I just over the table, I want to note that when you said you see Mordred, a rolling peal of thunder just went off outside my head.
Yes, we need to add that in post.
Yeah. So like, what?
Frau Brücke.
Yeah. So, yeah. What did you get lost on the way from the Ren Fair or some shit?
Hey, give him space. What are you doing here? Do you need something?
What year is it?
Oh, you're one of those people. 2018.
Is he from Jumanji?
Not everything is Jumanji, Rogine.
Some things are Jumanji.
Some things are Jumanji, but he's not an animal. I mean, he is because people are animals. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we see elephants, then you can ask if it's Jumanji. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Frankie.
All right.
Philo.
Do you have any knowledge of
So much.
a man named the Sherlock Holmes or Arthur Pendragon?
Sherlock Holmes. Yes, the fictional detective in the stories, in novels, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
That cheeky fucking bastard.
I mean, he's probably the second best detective I know, but he also doesn't exist.
Name of the author one more time for me.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He was a knight.
He sure was.
I took a step down. Real humble.
Wait, so did you say Arthur Penn? You mean King Arthur?
King Arthur and Sherlock Holmes are two very different stories. You know that, right?
They're all touchstones, but yeah. Then are you still at the Ren Fair?
I'm just gonna extend my hand with no other, just
John Moriarty.
Hey, Frankie.
Not
Moriarty. He's the famous nemesis of Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah. You're who?
Sherlock Holmes always bests him because he's so smart. Moriarty's smart, but he's not as smart as Sherlock Holmes.
he is a fucking heroin addict who
That's all true.
Only had solves crimes. I was a fucking professor of mathematics.
Yeah, that also was evil?
No.
Wait, what do you mean you were? These are fictional characters. Do you need a drink?
You're both dead.
Why are you in a church? They're
Both fell off
dead.
the walls.
Okay, Philo, know that Sherlock Holmes isn't real, right?
I
Know
mean,
that?
this guy clearly thinks that he's just on track.
Philo.
Holes in his logic.
Sherlock Holmes.
can I cast the spell?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the shut the fuck up, Philo.
Oh, God.
Wait, we paused again. Oh no,
Eric just got me flowers from the farmer's market.
that's lovely.
Pause. Good.
Yeah, we paused.
We paused. Oh no.
Wait, no.
All I did was turn Tyler up a little. Okay, let me end stream again and start it because that worked last time.
So, I mean, we're a couple hours in. I'm happy to take our break here. We'll finish up this scene, get to Ryle's intro scene, and then we can, perhaps start a little bit of the main arc. So, are you guys?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take your break now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do that.
All right. Sorry about the abrupt break, everyone, but
We'll come right
you
back.
tech goblins are extra vicious in Halloween. So, here we are. All right. We'll be right back, y'all.
We're back.
Whoa. That was an amazing bathroom break. I don't know about you guys.
I
but-
managed the hell out of my fluids. Just saying.
Yeah, I hope you all at home did too. I mean, we're all at home, but so everyone, I guess. I'm gonna make sure to make Rachel laugh incessantly while scarfing down food. Um, so we are back from break. What happened previously? For those of us that are just showing up now, we had a grand old time. We chatted. We learned about Monster of the Week as a game. We introduced all of our characters. We have not yet had everyone's introduction scene, but right now we have seen Mordred facing off as Professor James Moriarty against Sherlock Holmes in the Reichenbach Falls. We saw him get torn apart and reassembled. And we've now seen Philo and Frankie, basically Philo having to plead with Frankie to go out and investigate something that he just knows something is going to happen. And boy, howdy, did something happen, because upon arriving at a derelict church with not too much time left to spare, they looked upon a confessional booth inside of this church, and it was glowing with this vibrant white light, where upon further inspection inside we saw the body of a Victorian Scotsman appearing, materializing before their very eyes, and they have just started chit-chatting about what the hell just happened, because no one really knows. And I'm going to open up the floor back to you guys. Full disclosure, I didn't set an end thing for this particular scene, so if you guys have like any questions where you want to roll something or whatever, that's great. But I do want to get on soon, not rushing it, but soon to Ryle's intro. So yeah, I open the floor back up to you all.
I'd probably ask, after yelling at Philo about how Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character, I would probably ask...
So is John
Mordred.
He's right here, Frankie.
Okay, he's obviously delirious. He's probably coming down off of some kind of crazy drug high. He's in an abandoned church in a confessional. His skin is glowing. Like, he probably just came from a rave, like one of those weird raves. So, do you need some water? I have some water back in the car.
Might I cast a spell?
Yes, right. You were trying to cast your spell. How could I forget? Please cast us our spell, Mordred.
Great.
Roll to use magic.
Yeah. Magic, magic, magic. There it is.
Magic.
Would I use? I would have the -1 forward now, or that gone away?
You
think you
that already happened. It has since passed.
Great. Just want to double check.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
So on a fail to use magic,
Yeah.
let's
How
see.
bad is it? Because I might want to use luck if it's gonna really.
Oh, yes. By the way, great point to bring that up. So each player has, I believe, 12 total points of luck that they can use. Maybe it's 10. I don't have a character sheet in front of me. Once you have used a luck point, it takes whatever your roll was and makes it a 12. It is a critical success at that point.
It's 7 luck points.
7 luck points. Okay, yeah. So you only have 7. You don't have a lot of luck. Once you have used your luck, if you use out all of your luck, you enter the doomed state. So anything that happens, you cannot make it better. And hard moves are more likely to have a worse consequences against you, and everyone around you. So yeah, let me see. Protect someone. Yeah. I'm going to say that because you failed your roll, you are marking experience. And I would like to know what you were intending to happen.
Yeah, so I was basically just intending to project the armor that I was in when Arthur and I had our original final clash in the Morte Arthur. So the black armor and my broadsword, and I was going to go a little extra with the magic, my voice booming and trying to make this a supernatural experience was the like, yes, this is me. That was the goal.
Okay, well,
fuck with it as you will.
yeah, you know what, Mordred, you were completely successful.
I don't like this. Okay. Great.
Yeah, and
Great.
because of your fresh state, having just been appearing within this new timeline, your magic is going off too well.
Oh no.
And as your armor just materializes all around you, it's kind of like it's being like smelted together in the moment, and it's loud, very, very loud, deafening, and the people around you are not going to take the deafened state, but you all now hear, upon seeing this fully clad in suit of armor knight, you now hear sirens and see through like the opaque windows the flashing of red and blue lights as the police have arrived on scene and are investigating, and they have just heard this very weird metallic loud screech.
Okay, I'm gonna like push Mordred back more into the confessional. I'm gonna say, you're gonna stay in here and you're gonna be quiet. Okay? Just please.
You're gonna want me out there.
I'm gonna close the door in his face and I'm gonna stand.
Does he still have his booming voice when he said that? You'll want me out.
Oh yeah. Can I not turn it off?
I mean, I think you can. Like that's within your realm of control.
Well then, before I shut it off, and before the door gets slapped in my face, you'll just get like a very like ominous like, out of my way.
Just gonna
Yeah.
Philo, you guard the door. I'll go deal with the cops.
Should I have my rifle out?
Please don't.
All right.
What's a cop?
It's the law. The law enforcement.
Yeah, it's like the sheriff in Nottingham.
All right, that's
What time do you think I'm from?
What time do you think you're from?
a very loaded question. Could you please just let me through the door?
And you now hear banging on the main church door as you hear,
Well, yeah. We there, with the place come in with the words up.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to the door. Can I unlock it? Is there like a lock on the inside, or do I need a key?
you see that it's like a mix of like one of those turnstile locks, and then you have to like push in like one of those beams.
What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna walk over to the window that I opened, or that we opened.
You opened.
And I'm gonna stick my head out there. I'm gonna say hi, and I'm gonna hold out my private investigator badge,
All right.
which is just a piece of paper in a cool leather holder, you know.
Yeah. And so you see this police officer, like it's just one. And then like, you know, off in the distance there's like another car that's kind of heading towards you guys.
I have a lot of connections. Could this possibly be one of them?
Oh,
I have I have the Naked City. You have lots of personal contacts wherever you go. One of my 4 types is police.
yeah. You know what? I want, because this isn't a move and this is just a random happenstance. I want you to give me a luck roll. Roll me 2 straight D6s.
While she's doing that, I'm just in the background yelling, Frankie, tell him you're a nun.
Yeah, so a 5. Interesting. The officer is one of your contacts, but you're not particularly close. He knows of you. He perhaps doesn't really have much of a sense of you. As he says, yeah, I know that. I know who you are, Frankie, but what the hell's going on here? Like, why are you in this place? Hasn't seen anything since, 60s? Like, what's going on?
And I'm going to turn on my police voice. I'm going to say, yeah, somebody hired me to come in here and check some things out because they had some weird vibes. I found a lost cat, so I was going to, maybe try and help return that to its probably very sad owner.
I'm you're a nun.
All right. Was that actually audible?
It's a Frankie.
I mean, they're right next to each other, but
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
you got someone else in there with you?
Let me out.
Okay, you say you're on a bit. You got your papers, right? You got your warrant to search the place. Just let me see it, and I'll be around my way.
I don't need a warrant to search an abandoned building, officer.
Tell him I'm Father Philo.
Philo, shut your goddamn mouth.
I could help you with
I
that.
have a partner in here who's helping me search. It's an abandoned church, and I'm legally allowed to be in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got some reports. Listen,
You know how those people are, looking out their curtain windows, always calling you for nothing. Don't you feel bad you wasted your time from that Karen over there?
Frankie, roll to manipulate someone.
Nice.
Have I stuck with my code enough of constantly, mercilessly questioning people?
Yeah, I mean, to this point, you were very merciless with your questions.
So I get +1 ongoing to manipulate someone if I keep to my code.
Ooh.
Perfect. Let's do it.
So do I add that in the forward?
Yeah, I think you check like
too.
if there's a forward box, you can.
There's plus and minus forward. So yeah, mixed success. Jesus, I rolled terrible.
It's still
God, if I didn't get that +1, I wouldn't have succeeded.
All right, so on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show you that. So he'll leave as long as you show him that you mean it. If you have asked too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. So right now, I think with this officer, he's like, he too has had a very long day, and you can kind of tell that he didn't want to have to come all the way out here. So he's just gonna be like, okay, Frankie, you're gonna owe me one, but like, please just get out of here. Like, I'm gonna have to explain this to the other officer that, oh yeah, they didn't have their paperwork and all this stuff. I don't like doing that. So like, you're gonna owe me one. All right.
I will. I promise.
And yeah. So come on, get your stuff. Get out of here. You don't need to like a lift back to the station.
Oh, we got my car. I'm good.
Fine. Yeah. And so,
I'll make it up to you. I promise.
all right. He looks at you, looks you down. It's like he thinks you mean it, and he's gonna start heading back to his car. As yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna walk back up to Philo. And I'm gonna get up into his face, and I'm just gonna say, "You shout things while I'm talking to a police officer again. Never driving you anywhere else. Understood?"
Did he think you were a nun?
And at that, we're going to advance in time a little bit. We're moving just a couple months ahead to the day that this campaign really starts. But before the very beginning, we have one more intro to do. The night before the first day of this campaign. Ryle.
In that few months, Mordred joined my bowling team, right?
Yes, and in that few months, Mordred has joined the bowling team. Whatever other connections that were made that I totally wrote down, but I don't know where. They have all come to pass.
Great.
Y'all, what I will say is in that time, you guys have not really like worked a case outside of this, really. So like this is like your one experience together that you've had.
That was the case.
Yes. And you were the case. All right, let me go ahead and get here. Okay. Ryle. The night air is thick and heavy and cold. You're some city far, far north of like the Canadian border. A thin line, a thin sliver of moon above this alley is the only visible form of non-artificial light in our night city sky. And as our camera pans down, we hear a loud of boom, and we see the walls of this alley briefly illuminated with a blue light. We then see a man getting up from a crouching position, wiping the blood off of his katana before sheathing it. Ryle, would you mind just describing yourself a little bit once more for our newcomers to kind of get a sense of what they're seeing?
Indeed. I am fairly tall, lanky. I have short but sort of spiky white hair. A tattoo on my arm of a snake sort of coiling around it, kind of all the way up. But that's covered mostly by a black, but sort of light fabric duster to keep me warm up here. I have a shotgun on my back. I have a gun holster right on my arm, and then sort of going across sort of the bottom part of my back is my sheath for my katana, which I put that in. And that is what I look like.
Excellent. Now, Ryle, you have just finished off your last target, and that big boom and blue light was their soul getting sent off to the underworld. What or who or what was your last target?
Oof. So I don't ask a lot of questions about who my targets are. All I know is that they were male, older, of giant beer belly, but also a ton of muscles underneath that, and a balding head. And they did not seem to be affected by the cold at all up here. They were entirely shirtless and pretty furry.
You know what? I would say so furry, except for the balded head, that you were actually up against a werewolf.
Lovely.
Yeah. You've just finished it off, and as you're like getting ready to head out, I guess your mode of transportation for this might have been like a motorcycle. What are your digs right now?
Oh, the nicest sort of stuff. Yeah, 100%. I am incredibly wealthy, and I have an amazing motorcycle just decked out that I can ride that somehow keeps me warm in these Canadian airs. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It lights up the ground around me with a pale sort of green.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah,
I
yeah.
got stuff.
He's got the stuff. So yeah, you're getting ready to head to where you parked your motorcycle. But before you kind of leave this scene, you sniff the air, and the distinct aroma of a Cuban cigar fills your lungs as a familiar voice calls out almost affectionately from the shadows. You were probably wondering who sicked the werewolf on you. Well, it was me, Dario. I'm just joshing you. I really have no clue, but nice work. Enter Dario, your favorite demon. This looks a hell of a lot cleaner than your last job there, Ryle. Oh, you don't even look scratched up. Hey, good job.
I do it to impress you.
Oh, shucks. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. We appreciate the big boss. He appreciates it. You're doing good work out here. But speaking of jobs, listen, I've hiked through the pipelines that something real big is going to go down in Georgia. I can't go myself because, well, I ain't play the fiddle. Get it? Devil went down to Georgia. You never laugh at my jokes, Ryan.
I never laugh at your jokes, Dario. Never.
Well, be that as it may, you're about the closest and best and cheapest that I've got for this particular job, and I think you're the right one. There's been some creatures not quite unlike fuzzballs over here that have been showing up in places they shouldn't be, and the boss would like that to come to a swift and clean end.
Listen, Dario, I have several months left on this contract. Is it going to be spent the entire time trying to do your odd jobs here and there, or do I get a little time on my own?
You're not wrong, but I mean, look at you. You live for this. Like, I can see the adrenaline still kind of coursing through your veins. What else would you be doing with all this lavish luxury?
Probably hunting monsters.
Exactly. See, you can't swindle yourself out of this one, sugar. But Jesus, man, I'm just freezing my balls out of here. There's definitely going to be something, and I'm sure it'll be pretty dangerous, but when has that ever scared you before, huh? Plus, I think you might just be seeing some of your friends heading that way too.
I have friends?
Yeah, well, maybe you could consider them backup. And Dario vanishes into the shadows. And in his wake, a little piece of paper falls to the ground, his calling card. The same two kinds of words on it that you have grown accustomed to seeing: a city and a state. This one reads, Nimbleville, Georgia.
I pick it up and put it in my wallet, stuffed with countless other cards already. Put it back in.
And what does Dario plan on doing with the rest of his night?
Ryle? Dario left.
Dario left.
Yeah.
Yep. Ryle. I know my names. Yep. Well, I know what Dario plans on doing with the rest of his night, but
Ready.
Yeah, what's Ryle want to do?
Ryle walks back to his motorcycle, sits on it, pulls out a small red and black stone, and just very carefully traces an intricate design over it with his finger. It starts to glow, a little greenish glow. And on my shoulder appears a black raven made entirely out of a sludgy substance, some sort of oil-ish creature. And this is Slick. And Ryle just says, Slick, I have a hankering. Can you find me a Cuban cigar now?
Hankering.
Hankering.
And yeah, he flies off into the night.
It is technically a move I have to do that. I don't know if you need me to roll or...
Make a
let's
fail.
take a roll. Yeah, let's roll with our Raven.
All right. I rolled an 8.
A mixed success, and this was a use magic, right?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
So is there like a specific kind of like treatment to when you are using your little demon friend?
A treatment?
Yeah, like for like, you know, however you roll. Let me just look at your character sheet, sorry. Artifact. Nope, just use. Okay, great. So yeah, your effect is that you were looking for a Cuban cigar. And our possible glitches are the effect is weakened. The effect is of a short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate unwelcome attention. It has a problematic side effect. Yeah, I think what happens here is your Raven. What's your Raven's name?
Slick.
Slick. Yeah. Slick comes back and Slick is like he gives you your cigar and he even lights it for you, but you notice that he's looking a little odd. It's looking a little odd, like sickly maybe. It's kind of hard to tell because he is just kind of like an oil substance. But your best to your knowledge,
I've never seen you look good before, but I didn't notice how bad you looked until tonight. Is anything wrong?
Slick doesn't really communicate in too much English, but he just kind of repeats you're bad. And
Well put.
from that I would you think right now that trying to summon him again to do such a petty task would like he would be even more anxious, more sickly upon trying to do that again for probably like the next day. So maybe you wanna only use him when you absolutely need to.
Slick, I'm done with my job here. Why don't you take the night off? I'll see you in a few days.
Night off, and he flies off. And then probably disappears because he's, you know, tied to your stone. Okay.
Then I peel out of there going as fast as fuck. Not a care of these icy roads.
I assume we're heading south.
Let's.
All right. Okay, great. So everyone, we have an hour left. Are we comfortable with kind of just setting the opening scene with what happens? All right, great. So let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, right now, how do you think we are grouped as far as the order of people arriving at Nimblewell? What I will say is that we had mentioned in our session 0 that you all kind of knew each other, and it was at this point, Ryle, that it kind of procs in your head, as you're speeding down the highway, that the friends that Dario was referencing were probably the few connections you had made, along the east, heading south. And then of those, it would probably at this point just be Frankie and Philo,
Right.
Who, because you have yet to really meet Mordred just yet. So, if you guys would like to just kind of quickly touch on, what that conversation might have been like when you were alerting them of the location. Ryle, if you guys want to have that little chat.
Lovely. I would have contacted both Philo and Sable to meet me at my private jet in a nearby small airport. And if they come, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess you're the private jet in the private airport has to be somewhere in the Richmond area.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. Would I have any reason to invite Mordred with us?
If you told me you had a friend that might be able to help, I certainly would.
So I have a question for Tyler.
Sure.
So you're on my bowling team now, and we became such fast friends.
Sorry,
Sorry, Rachel, what's the team name? We can't move on until we know this.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. The slippery balls.
Okay.
Because you got them. You want them to be real
All right.
good on that slippery floor.
All right, guys. New merch, slippery balls shirts.
Bowling shirts. Oh, geez.
Holy shirts.
Oh, yeah, bowling shirts. That'd be great. Oh, could we also get stickers with inexplicabletransgressions.com? Somebody needs to buy that first.
Of
Yeah,
course.
someone needs to buy that domain.
Just to go see really quickly.
All right, the best use of helpful goat funds.
I didn't realize I was muted, but 10 pounds.
Hey,
My suggestion.
what was it?
Oh, 10 pounds.
10 pound
balls.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking
Slippery
slippery
balls
because the
is
floors
better.
are real slippery.
Yeah, no, it's much better.
So yeah,
Sorry.
Mordred's on slippery balls with me, the slippery balls, and what does he do otherwise? Because I feel like when we left the police and the church and everything, would have offered to drive him back to town, would have offered to let him stay at my place, just because I'm too nice and trusting.
He's dating my mom.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a great question for.
So I want to know kind of like, how are we still, connected?
Where have you been the last few months prior to right now?
Mordred has been, I think, finding the local library, and has been telling Philo and Frankie that he clearly already planned for this inevitability, and already has a residence, but has in fact been sleeping in the public library, where he's been reading all of the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle books, trying to figure out if there's any clues in there, and also trying to get in on this internet thing that's very new for him. Learning, Google and such. And then we'll do the weekly bowling with Frankie, and then I guess would just kind of, I don't know, does Philo open up his basement for
You're all welcome, but
I wouldn't recommend it. No offense, Philo.
None taken.
I mean, if Philo's got information on things, and that's desperately what Mordred needs at this point, he would definitely be the sponge to Philo's conspiracy theories. And just
I think what makes a lot of sense to me is that you spend half of your time satiating Philo's conspiratorial, whatever you want to call them, ideas, and then the other half of your time is probably, I would assume that Frankie, as a member of the force, probably knows of some like safe houses, and probably has you kind of put up there in like a no questions asked. This person is, just.
Frankie is straight up a private detective, by the way. She's not a real police officer.
Oh, never
she didn't
mind.
pass the police officer's exam.
Okay, then yeah, I guess sorry, Mordred, you're spending.
She knows things. She's got cool connections, but it's just, it's just her own thing. It's fine.
She accidentally shot a sergeant while she was in the academy.
This is why I don't use guns.
That's why.
Ew.
God. So yeah, I you know what? I think what is more narratively fun would be to just have Mordred put up with the lavish lifestyle of Philo's basement, being a roomie.
sure.
With the Mountain Dew bottles, yeah. And yeah, so that's probably where you've been staying, tolerating that somehow. And
Why would you choose his basement over my nice place?
It's a den of knowledge.
Oof.
It's got 3 screens. That's like 2 more than you need.
You have no TV.
Yeah, I don't know what a TV is. I gotta learn all that shit.
Yeah, all I need is the newspaper.
It's why I moved down there.
okay, yeah. So you guys get word from Ryle that you're being summoned to his private jet. Are we bringing Mordred? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a choice on that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to come up with a reason why Mordred's coming, I mean,
If Mordred lives with Philo, basically, then I feel like if we're like, all right, we're going Philo, then
yeah. That is not a hard sell to make. You're going to investigate something creepy. Why not bring the guy you saw magically clad in armor, with.
And say it feels like, yeah, given that last time I did an investigation and all the signs pointed to what eventually became Mordred, that, yeah, this time, if we're looking at something, it's just like, you have to come. You have to come with us.
Has Mordred worked any harder? I mean, I don't know if he doesn't give a shit also, which is fair. Do I believe that Mordred is who he says he is, or do I just think he's a bonkers person that...
I mean, you saw his armor come into existence. And so, like, your only 2 explanations for that are it happened, or B, it's a shared hallucination.
Or maybe there's something else. Maybe there's something else magical about him, and he's not who he says he is, but there's something weird.
Yeah. I mean,
I think for right now, I think he's some kind of wizard
okay. Yeah, that sure.
who's lying about whatever it is else that's happening. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it every time. Tuesday night when we're bowling, I'm always asking him questions.
Yeah, so like I go and I tell you a different story every time you ask, like, who are you really?
But they're all true.
So yeah, so I tell you like one that predates Arthur and Mordred, which is the story of Siegfried and Fafnir. And then I explain that Fafnir being this like majestic dragon that Siegfried has to kill and bathe in its blood. Arthur was, Fafnir. I was Siegfried. The only time that I was ever, a hero in the story. So Arthur then takes the name Pendragon, which means, chief of the dragons, the great dragon. And then so with each story, I'm kind of adding a thread to. Please believe this. Like it's another, link in the chain to hopeful believability.
All right. So, with that at the bowling alley, I think you've been successfully able to pin him down. But bowling pins. Sorry.
No, I got it.
Yeah, I tried. Anyway, yeah. So, you've arrived at this airport, and you are on your way down south. Do we want, we can definitely have a scene here. I'm happy with that on the plane, as we're all coming together for the first time.
I would sort of debrief them a little bit, and say, now I know I've never quite called in this favor and asked all of you and our new friend here to join me on one of these, but I assure you something pretty wild seems to be happening. My contact, who is never riled, is shaken a bit. And if I see Philo laughing, I'll kind of, I didn't mean to make a joke, but it's nice laughter. Sorry. Yes. Thank you all for joining me. And if you don't mind, drink as much champagne as you'd like. It gets old. I don't even taste this stuff anymore.
They think they got
so
meetings for that.
Probably. And what's your deal? You seem weird. And I look to Mordred.
He's a wizard.
I'm the only one here who clearly has a sense of fashion. I mean,
Yeah, he's a wizard.
actually, no. I kind of like what you got going on. Then,
And I point at Riley with the very sleek black trench coat.
So does everybody have one of these things that we're on now?
A plane.
It's like great, yeah, like these great birds that you take up in the sky. No, I know. But wait. So that's like flying, like as in
Plane.
like
Yes.
but
It's a plane.
what?
Airplane.
An
What year did the Wright brothers do this?
aeroplane.
It is definitely.
Wright brothers were like
Oh,
around.
before my time. 1900.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a sky bicycle.
Skysicle.
Anyway,
I want to fly my skies.
so nobody here is pedaling now. So are we all gonna, crash and burn?
Probably not.
I mean, it happens sometimes, but
You've got
Planes
to
is pretty
forgive me,
great.
I've done this a lot. But the technology gap's always a bitch.
I'm sorry, Sable. Who the hell is this?
It's at this point that the
So-
waitress or server, rather, airplane server,
Flight attendant?
That's the word I was looking for. The flight attendant. The flight attendant comes by with all of the champagne for everyone, and also hands one to Frankie.
I'll just set it down next to me.
Okay.
No. And I'm going to just say, okay, so a couple months ago, Philo got it in his head that we needed to go to some church 30 minutes outside Richmond in the middle of the night. And we go there and we go inside and there's a shining light in the confessional and we open it up and this wizard is there. And
Calling me a wizard. Anything, I'm a druid.
Okay.
Are we playing
True.
Dungeons and Dragons here? What is this?
Yeah, I think the server who is still there is like looking at you guys like really like what like they're not responding, but they just are giving you a really quizzical look, Frankie.
Don't worry about them. I pay them to very literally never tell anyone anything that happens on this plane.
Oh, great. Yeah. So then, he says he's from out of time and a bunch of different times. He believes that he's Moriarty, and that Sherlock Holmes is real. And so I don't know about all that. That seems a bit crazy to me, but I did see him form magical armor. So that's why I think he's a wizard, druid. Sorry.
I think, yeah, but I think that's just magic because he said he was like part of Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Fafnir.
Is that Roy's last name?
I thought not only one.
Ones with the white tigers? Do you have a white tiger? Can you bring it?
I apologize, traveler. Philo is, well, all looks, not a lot of wit.
Not a lot of looks.
You said your name was Moriarty.
I would respond to many names. Yes, John Moriarty, Mordred Le Fay, Siegfried, you know.
My mom calls him Marty. She doesn't hear very well.
Your mother is very nice, though.
She is. Pam's great, but like, why are you living in his basement?
My mom's name is Pam.
Well, it's a data knowledge. I need knowledge right now, so, you know, I'll deal with the mountains of dew, and, you know, it's not...
Oh, God, I hope you mean soda and not semen.
We're in the air right now. Why would we have to deal with semen?
I need to shock Matt for that one.
You said mountains of dew. It's fine. I'm sorry.
Look, Ryle, all I know is that 3 months ago, I had all this information. It all told me to go to that church with Frankie, and that's where we found Mordred. And now I'm getting the same feeling that we have to go south. And I don't believe in coincidences. Mordred has to come with us. Whether what he's telling us is the truth, or whether he's just some amazing magician, or whether he's just completely bonkers.
All right.
So basically, just Philo is like a cryptozoological dowsing rod. So just generally, he points in a direction, and you just go there, and you'll find some stuff.
Part of
Mordred.
Part of his kind of like background is just that, yeah, he's a nut job conspiracy theorist, but he can kind of cut through all the chaff. It's very much like, that's why his sharpness is high. He can bring all the related information sort of together. If he were a part of QAnon, he would have focused on who was actually doing all the child abuse and stuff, not like stolen elections. He'd be like, nah, it's bullshit. But this is a problem. This is something we should focus on, that kind of thing.
Well, Philo, it appears our interests are indeed aligned to whatever happens in Georgia, and I'll pour you a little bit more champagne and sit right next to you.
And I just shoot the champagne.
Please, more. Here you go. Just to top you off.
And at that, I'm going to fast forward us a little bit. So we have all arrived at ATL, and our
all-time low.
Yes, exactly. And we are all on our way up north to the North Georgia mountains to go to Nimblewil. And I assume that our current ride is fully funded by
entirely,
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do we have that is a 4-seater?
Well, we could take the limousine. Or I do have the Hummer. It's always fun to go a little off-roady.
Do you just have a regular car?
Do you have a tailor by chance?
I have 3 tailors. The nearest one would be Florida.
Is that I also, I've never been in the States, I'll be honest. This is new for me. Is that close to here?
Somewhat. Close
No.
in Pennsylvania.
No, it's not.
So it's not. Could you bring them here?
Or give them a call. Put them on a jet. They should be here 9 o'clock tonight, maybe?
Great. I don't like the looks I'm getting, with this. It's just a normal suit. This is just an evening suit, And people are telling me I should go back to the Ren Fair. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I do have a few extra clothes if you'd like to, if we're a similar build.
Yeah, sure. That'll be good, I guess.
Let's see, it's about 5:30 now. Why don't you go ahead and put on the tux? You're not a farmer.
Damn it, Andy.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that then.
So you're wearing a tux, and by the way, it is 5:30 in the morning.
Oh God, well then.
Hey, we flew overnight. What time did we meet him at the airport? It doesn't take that long to fly from Virginia to Georgia.
It was probably like super early.
Whatever. Never suggest the tux for 5:30 in the morning. Not a heathen. God damn it.
I did need to clarify that because it is the morning when we're arriving.
Here is a suit, a nice suit for the day.
All right. Do you have any hot wire to go with it?
Do we have
Have a
any
top hat, but it
hot
seems like
wire?
No, some hat wear.
Hatwear.
Hat wear, yes.
Hats are a bit 2015, but
Well, right. Okay.
so no.
Great. I'll go ahead and put on this not as good looking suit, but I'm sure it's good for now. In the now times that we're in.
It's perfectly good, yes.
Ain't that just the way?
Just the way.
So let's take the Hummer.
All right, we're
Red and black, and decked out with all the amenities.
love it. Yeah. What's your first time in a Hummer like? Like, this one's not drawn by horses, so I mean, maybe it doesn't compare to a plane, but like, there's something different.
I mean, it was in my amazing European car earlier, so.
Yes, Mordred, what is your first Hummer like? I'll just go ahead and talk myself. There we go.
Do you have to like hammer or whistle to keep it moving? Is that why it's called a hammer?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be whistling.
Yeah. We're gonna break down soon if you don't.
I thought you just use horses. That sounds fascinating.
They don't hum as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, everyone. All right. So, we are cruising at a distant clip. Who's driving?
I
me.
would suggest definitely me, not Mordred. I don't want Mordred to drive my Hummer. I'll drive,
Why?
and I go very, very fast.
Okay. I imagine much to Frankie's dismay. But yeah, okay. So you guys are, let's see. Okay. You make your way and you have approached the like the kind of main street of Nimblewheel as you've been driving. And as you take this main road, you realize you're running a bit low on gas. You're sorry.
It does consume a lot, is what I said.
It sure does. It sure does.
I said we didn't hum enough.
Also true.
Yeah. So as you are driving by, you run past several independently run stores, a bakery, a police station, a diner, a graveyard, a library, another diner, another bakery, a pizzeria. And it's at this point that you also realize that you're getting kind of hungry. So low on gas, and yeah, you realize it's been at this point several hours since you've eaten too. But even as sparkling as this town seems to be, there's only like one convenience store and gas station that is presently open at like 7 a.m. And it does look welcoming enough, though. It says Chester's Mart is the name of the store. And there's a cute little pin-up sign on the convenience store gas station that says, fresh and delicious. Butter and eggs, sunbeam bread. So yeah, you are filling up your tank and grabbing some grub. What are you guys getting inside of this, kind of breakfasty convenience shop?
Chili. Do they have any chili?
Breakfast chili.
Breakfast.
Oh, like like next to the hot dogs, other stuff, just like a pot of questionable gas station chili.
Yeah, sure. There's gas station chili at 7 a.m. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's also another thing that Columbo eats a lot of fucking chili and talks about it a lot. So
Okay.
If Frankie, I'm not sitting next to you in the car. I say as I walk by with an armload of Mountain Dew bottles and just bags of candy.
Yeah, I'm not sitting next to you either. Jeez.
I will buy the two most expensive food items in the place. It all tastes fucking the same to me. Like sand anyway.
Okay, one is probably like a pack of cigarettes.
Food item, okay.
You said the most expensive thing in the...
No, he said
food item.
Food item.
I'll buy cigarettes, sure.
Yeah,
Most
You can eat
expensive
anything you
cigarettes.
want.
Not Cubans.
Yes.
Yeah, there's certainly a difference between edible and palatable.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I missed the food word
Okay.
there. Most expensive things probably got to be there's sunbeam bread. It's like this nice like honey glaze. It looks like it would be very filling, kind of like a what's the challah bread? Yeah, it looks kind of like that.
Yeah. Great.
Lembas bread.
Nice and lembas bread. Yeah.
So you get that, probably like a giant cup of coffee.
Giant cup of coffee. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just eat
How
the
many
bread.
The app.
They have any absinthe?
Absinthe, yes.
Yeah. Do you ask the nice elderly lady at the okay. Oh dear. Sorry. We do not have any absinthe.
I'm going to pick up some black licorice and hand it to him and be like, it's basically the same thing.
A look at it.
And the older lady's going to give you kind of a confused glance as she like scritches the cat laying lazily on.
I'm going to pick up the black licorice and a bottle of vodka and be like, here you go. This is basically absinthe.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is so hard to be your friend.
Very confused.
What? It'll fuck you up. And it tastes like anise. What more do you need?
I was looking for something to help the mental faculties,
Speaking of taste like anus, can we get him some Malort?
Absinthe helps your mental faculties. That's
It opens up the mind,
disturbing. Well, I have plenty of things that'll open up your mind.
All right, let's have at it then.
Well, back in the car, I I pull out some of the finest marijuana, laced with a few mushrooms.
All right. So which one of these are going to help me see the fairy folk again?
That'll
No,
be the
they're in the States. Great. Great. We'll have some of them then.
You don't want the licorice?
I don't know what that is.
Just trust me. Just
If you
trust
take them together, it's like drinking absinthe.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll trust you on this one. So, yep.
So one thing I want to say, as you are outside, as you're outside at your car doing a drug deal in the middle of the day, or right early in the morning.
If there's anything small town George is fine with, it's
Drug deals at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
We love you, George. We're just kidding.
by the way, I did look up just to make sure what Georgia is like when you could buy liquor in Georgia, and apparently it starts right at 7 a.m.
excellent. Yay, we're not breaking the law here, except we are. So as you step outside, this is the first time that you have seen it since coming here. As was mentioned in our little opening crawl, the leaves on a lot of the trees heading towards the Amiclola State Park, they've all turned, a vibrant auburn color. And, this is weird because it's the middle of July. And you're just now noticing this, and you head back inside after having, or actually, well, what is your response to having now actually seen what you were hearing about before?
Is this place in a drought?
Who do you say that to?
Just to the group at large.
Not knowing much about the American, map of what things should look like. I don't really know, so I'm the wrong person for this.
Right now,
I mean, everywhere is basically in a drought, right? Because of global warming.
Have I ever come across a monster that has caused such an effect on the landscape? Keeper.
So, did you speak about monsters in front of Miss Harlan, the shopkeep?
Maybe. It depends on if I was asking you specifically first.
Me?
Yes, keeper.
Okay. And specifically, what was your question?
Have I ever come across a monster that maybe has done this before to the landscape?
No.
Then I probably wouldn't say anything. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I heard you say something about a drought, but the shopkeep kind of speaks up. My opinion, I was talking to my neighbor Gene about it last night when it happened. I feel like it must be something in the soil. Or maybe.
did you say this happened last night?
Yeah.
The color, the leaves were green yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I looked towards Amclo Falls, and it was a vibrant green. But now it's all dark. Well, auburn, kind of brown, but give beautiful fall colors. I think.
Did you see? Oh, sorry.
I think it. If it's not the soil, it's gotta be the weather. Because at the same time, it got kind of cold. I don't know. It's supposed down the south. I know y'all aren't from down here, but down south, it's pretty gosh darn hot in July.
Are there any bodies of water near here?
Well, there's Lake Lanier, which is like maybe a little bit over an hour out east. But then water features, we've got the Amiclola Falls, which are like right up the street, right past the lodge.
All right. You might have a knuckleavate problem.
Who to what?
Oh, it's fine. You probably just have a bit of a Celtic import, I would assume.
Celtic imports. I mean, we got Guinness, but
no.
I will just like peels off the group and walks toward the cooler.
This is a horse that brings some drought. It's got like it's a horse, and it's got like a torso, fused to the to make it look like there's a rider on it, but it's not really a rider. It's got this big head.
Centaur. Is it a centaur?
It's not a centaur. It's a knucklevi, like I said. You can use your little brick that you can put your little information in. The phone, the cell phone. You can just look up knucklevi.
Kind of sensing Miss Harlan's apprehension, Chester like gets up and like ducks behind the counter, and Miss Harlan's like, y'all speaking some words, and I'm sure they're making sense to you, but she's like looking between you to try to find the most sensible one, and then I think she looks towards Frank. Is like, is your friend here?
All right. So you know how some people like to role play, like they're from different places or times, or like they're a wizard, things like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean that's never been my thing, but
It's really into that sometimes it bleeds over into his regular life. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Like method acting? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds like.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? And I put my hand on her like back nicely and just kind of see if I can walk a little bit away from everybody.
Yeah, sure. And then she like looks around to try to find her like one of the other employees to just make sure they've got someone covering the desk, and yeah, she heralds. Yeah, sure. How can I help you?
Well,
So is anything strange other than these leaves been happening around here?
Well, I mean, that's just about the strangest thing I've darn ever seen since, man, a while around here. Frankie, let me look at your character sheet super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Naked City, just
eating whole pieces of bread.
Eating whole pieces of bread. Yeah, go ahead and let's see.
Milo's just at the other end of the store with a mouthful of Sour Patch Kids and Guinness. Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and I want you to roll to manipulate someone. This isn't you like trying to like push her in to do a thing, but like, I want to see if there's anything you might be able to get out of her.
Sure. And I get my plus because I'm asking her questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, full success.
Nice. Okay. So for manipulate someone, for a normal person, yeah. So you look at her and like, you get the sense that she's like not going to be like that she's probably going to be honest with you with whatever you might be asking her now. And you do notice like a slight like twinge when she says when she said never before, but like at this point you haven't like bonded with her enough to really like feel like there's much else you would be able to get from that.
Sure. Has anybody been acting strange? Seen any other new people?
Well, I mean, we see new people all the time here in Nimblewell. You know, it's an old town, but, recently with we've gotten a whole bunch of new folks, new developments and all this new stuff. It's it's a bustling little town. I think it's going to be something big someday.
Did you hear any strange sounds last night? Any weird, strange flashes of light? Things that seem out of the ordinary?
Honestly, the only thing I saw was whatever I saw, which was that the cool breeze and then the leaves all changing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, all right, thank you for your time, and I'm gonna turn around and take a few steps away, and then I'm gonna turn back, and I'm gonna walk up to her, and I'm gonna just say, just one more thing. I noticed that you paused just a little bit there when you were telling me that you never seen anything like this before. Have you seen something like this before? Or something similar?
And can you go ahead and tell me what the just one more thing move does?
It's basically, it's an investigative mystery, or I can ask, what another question, was that a lie? What is something you left out that you didn't want me to notice? Are you complicit with any ongoing criminal activity, or did you commit this specific crime?
I think at that you're gonna notice that like she's not necessarily getting standoffish, but like something kind of inside of hers like a little off. And you're going to see that she's going to kind of glance back towards kind of where Chester was on the counter. And you see that where he was blocking off a photograph. And from here, you can't see that, but you could see her looking at that as she straight up says like, yeah, it's been a long time, but I don't really want to get into it right now. Like you seem like nice people, and nothing real bad happens here in Nimblewell, but I'd rather not. But
I'm going to hand her my business card.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. Hands.
Where I'm here to do some investigating. And if you feel after a time that you're inclined to share a little information with me, I'd be glad to listen.
Well, of course. And she kind of hurries into one of the back storage rooms. And it's at this point that the TV, which was just kind of showing like a golf game or something, it's an old CR TV. It then breaks into like a little news flash. And yeah. And you see on the screen there's a young woman, her name's Jackie de Blasio. And then she speaks. At some point early this morning, Zed Hoyt, the owner of the Amiclula Falls Lodge in Nimblewell, was attacked. He has received first aid at the lodge and is awaiting an ambulance, but is expected to make a full recovery. You have Chief Officer Edward Turner on the site. Would you like to give us a brief word, officer? And then hands over to Officer Turner.
Yes, thank you, Jackie. At present, we have detained no suspects, but rest assured, the Nimblewell Police Force and the Amiclula Park Services are working to piece together what went down. And we will do everything we can to make sure that those who have committed violence are held accountable.
Excuse me. You mean to say that someone attacked Mr. Hoyt?
Yes, it appears as though he sustained a knife wound and a mild concussion. But as we said, he should come through just fine.
Well, we are relieved to hear that much. Thank you for your time, Officer Turner. there you have it, everyone. I'm Jackie de Blasio with Nibblewell News. Stay safe. And then it kind of cuts back to regularly scheduled programming. And then at that, that happens kind of just as our friend Miss Hoyt was making her way back. So you didn't see her when this breaking news happened.
Was I the only one that saw it, or were other people inside?
Everyone that was in the convenience store when this happened would have seen that breaking news announcement. And the younger girl behind the counter now probably gave like a gasp.
But I reckon people...
Mordred,
Well,
that seems interesting. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, if they're arresting everybody that's doing violence, they'll have a lot of people on their plate.
Violence is the human condition, it appears. These cigarettes are not bad for backwater little place.
I don't think you could smoke inside, Ryle.
What do you mean?
Ryle can do what he wants. He's clearly got a lot of money.
Excuse me, your lady friend's right. Please step outside about 10 feet from the entrance of the building if you want to smoke a cigarette. Thank you. This is just health policy. Thank you so much.
Sable, is that right? Should I move out of the... That doesn't seem right to me.
The back.
Well,
Philo just
Sometimes,
tell her it's a vape.
It's not a vape, it's a cigarette. I just bought it.
Why?
sometimes you have to do things that go against what you want to do
Wait,
to help other people.
is Sable my like good angel and Dang is my like evil angel? They keep telling me different things because I'm here for that. Sorry, yes, Sable. Fine, fuck it. I'll put
Also, it's illegal and they might bring the police here if you don't comply.
You'd always just buy the shop rail. That's always an option.
I don't want this shop.
Says the guy living in Philo's mom's basement.
Listen, I don't have a lot of money. That's not really my thing.
Police doesn't even have a magazine rack. There's no knowledge.
I'll put the cigarette out on a bag of jerky. Elk jerky.
I'll go pick up the elk jerky and I'll buy it.
And then I'll just take another loaf of bread and walk out eating whole slices.
You see this 18-year-old like behind the counter, like really confused and like
I'll buy
between this and then the announcement, like, you know.
I'll buy a loaf of bread and his jerky. I'm sorry for him. He's going through a lot, I guess. He's also rich, and you know that rich people are assholes.
Oh, he's one of those people. Okay, fine. Thanks for paying for it, I guess. And then, yeah. So where are you guys heading?
I'm going to walk out and I'm going to say, all right, you owe me $9.73, Ryle.
Here's 75.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
I'll put it in my wallet.
I go over to a gas, like, part of it still smoking. This
Ryle, no. Ryle, please.
this is a new one.
No, I know, but
A new
you know
cigarette.
that fire and gasoline are a bad mix, right?
Only if it blows up.
I'm just going to gently take the cigarette away and just hold it out like this, like away from my body while
You're gonna dab it?
I'm going to jab.
I do want that back.
Yeah, no, I'll hold it for you. Just please, just fill up the car, please.
Don't you have pipes anymore?
I have several. Very nice ones.
Well, that's very good.
As I fill up the car then, Mordred, that seemed a little weird to you, didn't it? That little news feed.
Oh, it seemed pretty odd, yeah. I want to go check out that lodge. You know, the wee fellow with the stab wound. I would say also question, because I've asked this to the other two and they're a little I don't know. I think they're both off their nut in their own special way.
Yes. I pull out another cigarette.
Right here, man.
It's all right. I don't.
Fine. No.
If I'm being a little off yourself.
You shouldn't say it.
Frankie is too far away to hear you because she's trying to hold a cigarette very far away from the guest.
And Mordred, so Knucklevade, they don't have knives, do they?
No, they don't. But they got very big hands. They just kind of drag on the ground normally, though, behind them. So maybe they had help. Could have been Holmes.
Sorry, what? I haven't heard my name in a while. What were you trying to ask me?
Oh, right. Thank you. I wanted to ask you, so are there any detectives of the age that you would say are as great as Sherlock Holmes? Because if so, I'm going to need to do a lot of preparing. They're probably going to be coming here, and I'm going to need to kill them.
Frankie's just going to yell from really far away because she heard vaguely that. She's going to just say, Columbo!
Columbo is fictitious. Don't listen to Sable.
Same as Sherlock Holmes.
Mordred, look, I would never, ever, ever say this to her face. But Sable is incredibly good at what she does.
I'll look back and glare.
She doesn't hear that part because he said it too quietly. So she just is looking at the cigarette like it's disgusting as she holds it out arm's length from her.
The reason I keep coming back to her is because she's one of the most deductive minds of our time. But
Right here, Ryle.
She could be playing you. She could be playing you, Ryle.
I
She
doubt
could
that.
be.
I've known Sable a while.
Well, I've known Arthur a long time. It's only fitting that, Holmes got here before me, established a very reputable private investigation business, and now is toting around a reputation that is unearned because they've had years to refine the practice.
That's nonsense. I don't know what you're talking about at all. It's
If
ridiculous.
it comes to it, they're gonna have to kill Frankie. I don't know what the
Fine.
etymologies of Frankie's many names. I don't know what the C stands for.
Conan,
I
think. I'm pretty sure the middle name was Conan.
Conan. I need to look up etymologies. If there's anything that gets a whiff of dragon or king or anything along those lines, you be ready. They'll throw us all under the horse and cart. We'll get run over, stamped by horses, and then the wheels, and then we'll hopefully be left for dead, very slow, painful death. I just don't want that happening to mostly me, but I mean, you too. You seem pretty capable of things as I look over all the weapons here.
Yeah, I'll take out my gun and I'll point it at Sable. Is it time now? Sable.
Please don't point your gun at me.
Why?
I don't like guns, Ryle.
Sorry, that's right. I have to figure out a way to kill her without actually pointing a gun at her. I'll work on that.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I don't really favor an axe.
I have a katana. Should be do the trick. How do you feel about katanas, Sable? Anything? No?
I mean, if necessary, I don't know how to use one.
Great.
Why?
I'm fine. Thank you, though.
I don't believe you.
It's at this point that you see an ambulance driving past our gas station
Oh.
Oh, we should follow that.
on its way to the park. Yeah.
Follow that. Let's follow that.
Okay. I put the
And-
gas away and hop in the car.
I'm going to hand the cigarette back to Ryle as I run into the car. And it's about this much cigarette and just this much ash that still hasn't fallen off.
Thank you then, yes. Philo, your turn.
Yep.
Get in the car, please.
Yeah, all right. Hey, you guys know I could hear you before, right?
Yes, we knew.
All right. Just making
It's a
sure.
public conversation. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Philo just sits down next to Frankie and keeps an eye on the two in front.
Okay, so we are
Speed off past the ambulance. With the ambulance.
Yeah. Okay, you're speeding off past the ambulance. All right.
With them,
so
toward following them, yes.
yeah, I want you to make a roll to act under pressure.
All right.
Because you are going fast. You're trying like to
I'm going fast and
swerve through these mountainous roads. Yeah.
Frankie, I definitely didn't pay for the gas. So sorry about that.
Okay. Mixed success there. I don't think there's any way that y'all could be helping him to drive faster.
Could I use magic to help?
Whoa.
Sure. What?
We hum really loudly.
Yeah. Yeah. Go. Yeah. What? Before you roll, what are you trying to do with this magic?
Yeah, so I'm not so much trying to accelerate us. I'm trying to pull back so that the ambulance slows down.
Okay. Yeah.
That's so fun.
I like it. Are we trying to get in ahead of the ambulance, or are we just trying to be at pace with it?
I'm asking our lovely speedster before I do this.
I don't know where it's going, so let's make sure we've caught up with it and just stay close.
For what that is worth, you would have noticed at this point that there are clearly designated signs pointing towards the Amicalola Falls, because that's like the main natural feature of this area. So even if you were to skirt the ambulance, you'd probably figure out where you're going.
Jesus. I then, if I'm really sure about this, I'd like to get there before them. I might try to run the ambulance off the road so that we can just get there and have plenty of time to investigate before they mess everything up.
Oh, I wanted you to. Oh, I didn't want you to.
Okay, but
I'm just gonna be screaming in the car the whole
well,
time.
but before that happens, we do have an order of operations here because Mordred cast a spell. So I want Mordred to go ahead and roll to use magic to try to withdraw that.
If Ryle tells me to run them off the road, I want to, like, if that's the goal, if that's the new goal, like, get that.
Yeah.
If we want to get there first, if I could run them off the road with magic, but do it in such a way that no one's injured,
Okay.
that would be,
Go for it.
our poor fuck in the back, not bleeding out because I flipped the car. This is just use magic.
Yeah, just a straight use magic roll. Now, I will say that you are. What exactly is your magic ability that is enabling you to do this? Like what? Because you stated that you had magic armor. So are you using do you have some
no
level
so
telekinesis?
I have ancient magics, which is just here. I think I can click it and just put it in. Hold on. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Ooh, it disappeared. Sorry. I'm panicking.
You're good.
This is all playbooks. Why can't I find mine?
Oh, jeez.
Can you go into my character sheet?
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it's ancient magics. For some reason, it unclicked itself.
Action scientist.
I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, Sable.
Ancient armor.
It's under the exile. It's The armor that I created was just a showy effect armor. It was just it wasn't
Cosplay armor.
Show unused should show everything.
show on you. Okay.
The action scientist, oblivious to danger, engineering, the doors of perception, the mind of steel, refactoring to the chosen.
Maybe it's not a move.
Whoa. This is all okay. Yeah, that is
it's,
okay.
It's
Yeah.
all the playbooks. I don't know why it's doing this.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's weird. Hide other playbooks. There we go. I did it. Ancient magics. You learned magic when less.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Had been
It's
lost.
it's highlighted now.
Yeah, when you use magic on a, you can opt not to choose a glitch instead of taking -1 forward. Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that we really need.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. I hadn't realized that there are like specific effects for use magic. I just thought it was like you attempt to do a thing. Here's the okay.
Yeah, there are like specific things.
Yeah. Okay, so let me pick something specific here.
Because we can inflict harm, enchant a weapon,
Yeah.
and that is beyond human limitations, which this would kind of fit under, right? But I want to be sure that, we're consistent with what your magic actually can do.
Yeah, so let's do I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, cool. So we are going to summon a fey creature into the world as part of our use magic here, and we're going to put it right in front of the ambulance.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to summon go with a Cornish pixie. So
A Cornish pixie. Okay.
like a dick, but not like a world-ending threat. Is that within my limits? Would you say?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's use magic.
It's an 8. A mixed success. So we get a glitch. Oh, we don't get a glitch.
I'm gonna take the -1 forward. Yep.
Okay. Fun fact. Something strange here. You feel like, yeah, you would normally be like, you'd be at a disadvantage on whatever happens next, but something about this felt like too easy for you.
Oh no.
You keep getting successes.
I don't like this.
Something about this was too easy. The Cornish pixie appears right in front of you. I think it needs a command.
Yeah. I'll say in like an ancient Gaelic. Well, run them off the road wouldn't be just distract. I think, yeah, distract. Is
Do you want us to throw a party inside the car? We'll throw a
that sounds
party.
great. That sounds great. Just be a dick, but don't kill anyone.
Yeah. Okay. So on this mixed success, the pixie kind of reaches into its pocket, throws out a whole bunch of pixie dust, and a few more pixies just appear, and then they all go from your car, and they're like,
Part of the ambulance. Part of the ambulance.
and all of a sudden you see the ambulance start to swerve. We're on a mountainous road, and
Oh no!
Oh boy.
we knew, and
What have you done?
yeah,
No.
you do see the side wheels pick up, and the ambulance falls over and skids across the road and is now precariously placed, like kind of on this sort of almost cliff's edge. It looks like it could go over.
Well done. I'll keep driving.
No, not well done. The car.
What? Sable, what are you talking about? We'll get there first.
Not the car. They're going to fall off the side. They're murdering some people.
Oh, slam on the brakes.
They'll be fine.
I don't know. Get out of the car.
So what if the guy we're trying to talk to is in the ambulance there?
Maybe. I think they're going here for a different reason. I think there's something new that happened here.
Well, right now it's stab victims, so let's go find out and help them.
There's a bit of a party.
The ambulance is tipping.
Yeah. Can I like throw open a door and try and reach a hand for somebody? I'm not sure enough to stop an ambulance from tipping over the side.
Give me a roll to act under pressure. That's going to be plus cool.
Mixed success.
Are we able to give lucky to other people, or is that?
Well, you can help me out. You can perform a help action, right?
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, no additional help would bring you out of a mixed success.
I see what you're saying.
Only the person who has done the action can use the luck.
Gotcha.
So we have a mixed success on a.
I mean, I guess I could. We have 7, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like I really don't want people to die.
It's 6 more.
You have a mixed success. You are going to be able to pull them out.
Okay.
But if it's just one person, then you're fine. If there are more people in this ambulance,
right? That's my concern.
There's only one we need. Come on.
Go in the chat says, "Oops, murder."
Oops, all murders.
Yeah.
Some murders.
I think that it's too much for Frankie, and that I would spend a luck.
Okay, yeah. You are able to get to this ambulance in time to mark that experience. So you
did, but Frankie was like.
So you managed to like jump out of the Hummer while it's still kind of moving. You don't take any damage as you tumble, and you run over to the ambulance, and there were 2 people in this ambulance. There's a driver and another EMT that were both in the front, and you do manage to pull them out, and just in the nick of time, because the ambulance is now tumbling down into the mountainous ravine, and like it kind of comes to a stop after smashing into a massive like evergreen.
Wow, you guys have to be careful out there. Are you all right? Not drinking, have you?
They both are very like obviously disheveled. And the person who was driving was this kind of like older person. Their name is going to my NPC list galore. Their name is Oliver. And Oliver has, according to NPC generator, has a long brown mohawk and brown eyes.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. And Oliver says, oh my gosh. He's like in shock right now because they definitely almost died. And he's trying to piece things together, and like he's just almost completely incoherent. All he knows is that somehow he survived almost falling off of a mountain with his other EMT, Evelyn.
Hey, do you want to get in our car? We could take you wherever you were going. I mean, I know you don't have all your equipment, but you'll still be useful as yourselves, right?
Well, we don't need to give them a ride. They're fine. They're alive.
No thanks to you, sir.
Evelyn has like her like she of the 2, Evelyn somehow is a little bit calmer under this pressure. And she has like on her like vest like a first aid kit. And she's yeah,
So this is a life or death moment, right? So do you want to come or not? I don't mean to be mean. I know that you just had a near-death experience, but you know how it is. EMTs, the clock is ticking.
yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's do that. And
All right,
like,
into the trunk with you.
she shakes Oliver up, and he kind of gets himself together a bit, and they pop into the Hummer.
So yeah, I know that Hummers don't have trunks necessarily, but I'll just open up the back door and kind of shove them in the storage space and then close it.
And y'all make your way up to the Amicalola Falls Lodge.
And I'm just going to say, before we finish, as we're driving, listen, I'm okay with breaking some laws and bending some rules, but the accidental murder of some EMTs is not really in my line of work.
Can you?
and they're going to be like, excuse me?
Hey, don't worry about it. You're here. We're going to the place you need to go. You're fine.
I'll turn back to them and just tell them, oh no, she's not talking about you.
Somehow that doesn't work in terms of calming them down. So as you guys, and we'll wrap up here on this point before we do our end of session stuff. As you guys pull up, I would like. We did this relatively quickly.
Mhm.
We got here in good time. But even still, you had to rescue some EMTs. So as you reach the parking lot of the Amicalola Falls State Park, you're kind of stunned to see how, yeah, it's only like 7:15, but it is overcrowded with news vans and like what looks like it's almost the entire, population of Nimblewill and their grandmothers and their grandmothers' grandmothers. They're all here. And you see this crowd that they're kind of stationed like they're huddled right around the front door of the Amicalola Lodge. Yeah, you guys could accurately assume that this shocked crowd is all kind of gazing upon upon Zed Hoyt, the owner. And yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up for tonight. But yeah, let me go ahead and let's answer our questions. And then these are going to determine how much experience you guys get.
Yes.
And then I have something to read.
Okay.
All right. So end of session notes. At the end of each session, the keeper will ask the following questions. Did we conclude the current mystery? Yeah, totally. No.
Yeah. Was the
Did we
mystery
save-
whether or not we can murder EMTs?
Did we save someone? Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a yes.
I helped.
Good job, Sam. Yeah, we're causing the death that we saved them from.
Didn't ask that hard though.
No, didn't ask that part.
Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah, I learned the Knuckleve is terrifying.
We learned that Sherlock Holmes is real and also Arthur Pendragon.
I knew that.
Moriarty,
I'm not.
Siegfried, and the dragon.
Siegfried and Roy.
Okay.
I know I was joking earlier, but now I can't remember the actual name.
So I'm gonna say that answer actually is the next question, which is, did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Sure.
So is there anything that we could think of as far as learn something new and important about the world? Because that would mean you would get 2 experience if you're able to come up with a good enough reason.
I would say it's that something large and big is going down in this Georgia town would be something we definitely learned this session.
Yeah, we learned about the mystery itself.
Yeah. Okay. So that is 3 yeses, I would say. So we both get, all of you guys get to mark 2 experience points.
I'm at 3 now.
Same.
Yeah, so next time we should expect a level up or two. So I would definitely say, because you're getting ready to level up, to take like a look at all of your unused moves and see if there's one that is calling out your name because you might get it next time. So on that note, there's something to read to you. This is basically what is going to be transpiring later on in this day, but you are unable to affect it because you're out of that part of town. We see a man flipping off scary, the light switch of a baked goods shop. They close in the afternoon. Early in the afternoon. Mary had left. Sorry, I just dropped her name. It's fine. His wife had left the bakery a few minutes earlier to put their young one to bed. And so this gentleman, who I'll just go ahead and name as Hank, has taken the liberty of closing up shop. Hank slides the key out of the lock on the door and he feels a sudden spike in humidity. He turns around and to see that, well, he can't see anything. A thick fog in the midday has appeared out of nowhere and completely blocked his vision. Oh, how in the hell am I supposed to get home now? He shouts, and about 20 or 30 feet into the fog before him, he hears a long and high-pitched screech like nails on chalkboard, followed by the sounds of metal being crushed, glass shattering, falling to the ground. Barely a second later, immediately in front of him, he hears a soft, wet flopping sound. Hank steps forward and bends over to analyze, and what's on the ground before him is a large, messy woolen cap. It's hard to tell if there's like a pattern or color through all the fog, but it's clear that it is sopping wet. Suddenly, the ground around him goes from being just opaque to now being impossibly black. Hey, who's out there? Was all he could get out before something massive hit him in the head like a boulder. And that, ghosts and ghouls, is where we are going to leave tonight. On the cusp of something very strange happening in our small town. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Got a couple of things to close out on. First of all, thank you all for showing up to our first of the Go to Ween festivities. I could not be more grateful for you all as an audience to be here, and also for my just fucking magnificent players. Like, bravo to you all. Thank you guys so much for being willing to put up with me. And as a reminder of our upcoming content, again, Sunday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, Rachel's Reading Corner. Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Lena plays Boyfriend Dungeon on Discord. And Thursday at 6:30 Mountain Time, we've got Probably Spire. At Friday at 7, we've got Fates of Rin. And at Saturday, we have at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, The Beast, GM'd by Elise, which I believe a few people above me might be playing in. Yeah, and also if you haven't already done so, smash that exclamation point Discord button and join the Discord. We'd love to have anyone who might be new to the club to join. And yeah, from all of us here at Helpful Goat, Good night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. I'm not ending stream yet.
Oh, okay. Bye.